Oh, that cake was too thick.
Now, Andrew, what have you done in the interim between parts 1 and 2? Also, everyone, welcome to part 2 of 1 of the Worst Year of Our Lives All Request Spectacular number 16, I think. Drew, what did you do in the interim to replenish your energy levels?
Well, I ate the thickest piece of cake I've ever eaten.
And
thick in density, not
Density.
thick in size.
yeah, in terms of mass per volume,
Yeah.
there is no thicker cake.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's the what's dense? Mercury
Yep.
of cake. And then what did you do?
Then I had a nice big ol' waffle of my vape pen.
Then you did what I could only describe as 100 drugs.
All the drugs.
And and this was your solution to waning energy levels at the end of part 1.
No, I feel good.
You feel good?
I feel good.
We
Did I Google search thickest cake? I sure as fuck did.
And you like what you saw?
Yep, it's giving me thickest batters. Appears that the thickest cakes would be a pound cake, a Victoria sponge. That doesn't sound right. Or a Madeira cake, a British butter-based cake. Well, there's your answers.
Butter-based cake.
Carrot cake, that makes sense, but that's not really cake. Red velvet, yeah. I can testify as to the thickness of red velvet cheesecake.
Yes. It
Chiffon cake.
it was it was delicious. I couldn't finish my half of the slice. I will revisit it post pod.
I committed because I'm not a coward, but now I regret it.
I was gonna say you look like you were. I mean, I respect going for it, but like the second you had the last bite, your eyes were like, "Why did I do that?"
Yeah, kinda. But I didn't want to come back to it later.
That's fair. So what's going on?
You've lost your train of thought, which is great.
I did because I was getting answers about dead people.
Oh,
Yeah. So
doxed.
yeah, big doxings. So hey, in case you're starting on part 2 because you're a contrarian, just a reminder that you can keep this request train rolling indefinitely. Hey, you want to turn this into an anime podcast? You go right ahead. You want to turn this into a something other than anime podcast? I would prefer that, given the two options. But whatever you like, just have it be $100 or more per request to paypal.me/NotScottHansen. And we can, if we play our cards right, we can never finish. Wouldn't that be exciting?
That would be great.
Never finishing. It's the edging of all request spectaculars.
Yeah.
Is what they're calling it. I'm hearing buzz in the media. I'm also hearing Buzz Lightyear.
Oh.
And people are mad about it because I don't know, there's a black woman in it or something. Why are we mad at Buzz Lightyear?
Because women kiss for like 0.0005
Do they kiss
seconds.
Do they kiss in a way that it is easily edited out for the Chinese version?
Yes.
Good. That, you know what I like about gay representation in my movies is that you can cut it out with one clip and still sell it to China.
Yeah. Yeah, you really can.
It feels good.
Although
That's how you know it's genuine.
yeah, they also really don't want the African Americans in their movies. Because I don't think Black Panther Wakanda Forever did very well in China.
How did... Because this would be like a gray area, or like, I guess, a brown area. What did they think about Moana?
I don't know.
Because it's Pacific,
Yeah.
and China's Pacific, but it's very much a different color than China.
They're not Pacifics yet. They're their own thing.
They're specific?
Yeah, they're specific. Apparently Wakanda Forever was released. It was only released in China in the middle of February,
Okay.
and it
Recently.
had only grossed
$40.
$3.4 million.
Oh, that's low because that's roughly 1/1000th of 1 cent per person that lives in China.
Yep.
If my math is
Your
correct,
math is right
that would be,
around there. I'm not sure if it's correct.
30 trillion people in China. Last I checked.
Yep. What did it make?
I think it made more than
Holy.
3.4 million. Man, 3.4 million is really, really low for a Marvel movie in China.
But Scott,
They are racist.
Scott, look at every single person in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nobody that's not Mexican or black.
Do they do an were Martin Freeman and Andy Serkis in the first one?
Yeah, Martin Freeman's in this one for like a bit.
Well, there's the problem. They need more
Andy
Martin
Serkis?
Freeman.
Oh. More
And more Andy
more
Serkis,
white
certainly.
South Africans?
Yeah.
South African or is he British?
I think it's British. No one can do a South African accent who isn't
Is it
South
even good?
African.
I can't.
It's a nonsense accent.
It really is. I once heard Matt Damon talking about having to do it for Invictus. And he
How
said
was the worst experience of his life?
And he said that like speaking South African is like forcing your tongue to do the opposite motion of how you would say words in an American accent.
Yeah, it's completely counterintuitive.
Yeah, that you can't. You're unless it's the only language you speak. Like unless you're
about
born
it.
there with an accent.
Yeah.
It's like impossible to do it correctly without sounding terrible.
It's Dutch Australian.
It's Dutch Australia
It doesn't work.
with like clicks sometimes.
I don't know if there's clicks.
There's clicks.
In the accent when they're speaking
Yeah.
English.
Yeah, they do some clicks, clicks, flicks, some wicks,
John.
Johns.
What other?
Nothing.
I think nothing.
on.
Right.
Moving on.
I think. Look, part 1 of 1 was 2 hours 50 ish.
Yep, 2 hours 50 exactly.
So-
Loser.
If part 2 is shorter, that's okay with me. Is that okay with you? I want to make sure everyone's on the same page. Everyone feels safe with it. You don't feel or look safe, actually. Where
It's
do
'cause
you
I'm
stand? Maybe you shouldn't have done all those drugs and gotten paranoid.
Yeah, now I'm paranoid.
So there. What do we
I'm
have?
gonna
We
not
have.
gonna murder you in your sleep tonight.
Oh, I am sleeping here.
Yep.
Well, don't murder me in my sleep.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We have 6 things. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, just 5. We'll be done in no time. We can bet you're doing another drug. What are you doing? You piece of...
Classic prank by Drew on Scott.
Do a bunch of drugs on the podcast. How dare you?
We did it once before, and it was a pretty good podcast.
It was. I don't remember it, but people seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, that was probably one of our most popular ones.
It literally was. Which,
2 non-stoners at a time getting high.
is that what started? Was that your trigger?
My trigger? I think my trigger was
Getting molested?
by you.
Well,
This is you admitting it on air.
this is you admitting it. I'm not speaking in absolutes the way that Manscaped told me not to. Free shipping everywhere in the world? Most.
Paid on time.
Yeah, paid within 30 days of invoicing. Oh, sorry, always paid within 30 days of invoicing? That seems like too far.
Yep.
But hey, on the off chance they do pay us, do a quick hop over to manscaped.com, buy a little something or a lot of something, and use promo code CATS20. Much appreciated. Now, back to accusing Drew of things.
I want to get the shed.
Is that the bag?
That's the bag.
I have the bag.
I need the bag.
I could... Oh, maybe I don't have the bag. But I probably have a bag I can give you.
I mean, I could just get a bag. I'll buy my own.
All right.
I don't want handouts from you.
I mean, we could probably also get the bag free from them.
Yeah, that's probably true. Hey, Manscaped, send me the shed. I need it for research purposes.
I want to see what I can put in that bag.
Yeah, I want to see how big that bag is. I want to meet that bag.
I am racking my brain to think if I have it or not. Because I had bought a bag at La Maison Simons. Maybe you've heard of it.
La Maison Derrière.
The butt house.
The butt house.
Because I needed a new toiletries bag because my Ralph Lauren one fell apart and I was tired of stapling it back together.
Ralph Lauren makes bad bags?
It was just very old.
Oh, like you.
I don't blame Ralph.
Like you. Did you get it for your birthday when you turned 10?
It was the opposite
30 years ago?
of me age-wise.
Oh, okay. So it's young.
It was as old as I am young.
Ah, I see. That's how it works.
So I bought a new one at Simon's, which was good, and then my aunt got me a bunch of beard stuff from thebeardstruggle.com, not a sponsor, although you are enjoying their brush.
You could be a sponsor if you tried harder.
And that's true, actually.
What if you're sponsored by like competing companies?
I kind of like that.
That's pretty good. And you're like, well, if you
Make
want
it
us
work.
to give,
Hey,
you want us to give you the better review and shit on the other guys, you better pay us a little bit more.
Pay us faster, or at all.
Yeah, literally at all. Just pay us.
Yeah, and then amongst all the beard stuff was a bag which I liked better than the one I bought at Simon's. So at the very least, you could have that one, and I cannot remember if Manscaped sent me one or not. And one day I will confirm, or I will forget as soon as this podcast is over, if not well before.
Don't worry, I won't forget.
You on it? Well, I guess you're the guy who needs the bag.
I'm the guy who needs a bag.
But also, you're high as shit, so...
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
This isn't the kind of pot that gets you super high.
you're blasted.
It's
Look
the
at
kind
you.
of pot that gets you nice and comfortable so that your back doesn't hurt.
I thought it was my massages that made your back not hurt.
It also helps me shit. Too much information?
Is that a thing it does?
No, not really. Only the edibles do.
Do the edibles, though? I didn't know that was like a thing.
I don't think they do. They just make my shit
just-
smell horrible.
Yeah, but they don't help.
Horror awful.
They don't help you shit. They just make your shit more
I mean,
disgusting.
Who's to say?
But I don't think we need to tippy toe around things any further.
No, I'd like to.
Okay. What do you?
No, nothing.
What's going on with you?
Not like I want to continue to always get off topic.
But
Remember before off pod when I mentioned how
gay?
my friends had named their children awful names? There's like I don't want to get too off topic here, but there's a hockey prospect whose name is Mick Frechette.
okay.
Now, what if I told you he's got a sister and two brothers whose names are Finley Frechette, Gillis Frechette,
Are they all fucking
and
last names?
Fitz Frechette?
I don't love
Mick,
the-
Finley, Gillis, Fitch. Or sorry, Fitz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't.
No, not a big fan of those.
Don't love it. I do like underwatched. Let's say Showtime series. Call Me Fitz, starring maybe Jason Priestley.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah,
I think my mom watched that show, but only because it was Jason Priestley.
I think I watched one episode and didn't get into it.
What if I told you that there's another set of brothers who also have dumb names and might have come up on the podcast once before?
I would love to hear about
The
it.
Weisblatt family.
What's their
I don't know, Hasidic.
asked and answered?
Ozzy, Ozzzy,
Okay.
Ocean,
No.
Orca,
Oh boy, it's getting wilder out here.
or Oasis, but spelt Oasiz.
Fucking Ozzy got off easy.
Ozzy got off easy.
Wow.
Yeah.
'Cause the other
Ocean,
three-
Orca, Oasis.
I mean, Orca is a funny name.
Orca's a very funny name. You
I
literally named your child after a large sea mammal.
I hope he's fat.
I mean, he's regular sized.
Boo.
He's human sized. He's not whale.
He's not whale
sized.
sized. That's too bad.
That's funny.
Is he a furry who's big into rubber? Because every single orca furry is big into rubber.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Yuckers.
Your orcas, your seals, your
walruses,
your sharks. Yeah. Any aquatic shit, like it goes hand in hand with like rubber fetish and like
and wet work.
And of course, obviously wet work. Yeah.
Yeah. If you ever meet an orca furry, they'll let you pee in their face. Directly in the face.
Right in the blowhole.
Aww.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah. Reluctantly.
Anyways, I'm Drew. You can follow me on stuff at Syrian Sawpaws.
I'm Scott. I can follow you home from work.
You also have a Cameo. You didn't mention that last time.
I do have a Cameo. Cameo.com/scoot. And I have a pending one right now that I have to do for someone's birthday. And I don't think I have to show feet.
Gross. Is that everything we had to do? Hi, subscribers. What's up?
Yep. Hi, subscribers. What's up? Oh, speaking of subscribers, we hit the 3K mark on YouTube, which is nice. We
did it.
I posted because we got the paying members over 20 to unlock the new emote, and at the same time got 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. Also, when you subscribe, also click the bell, because otherwise it's like you didn't even subscribe, which is very stupid.
Completely worthless.
Not your fault, but that's the
not your
system.
fault, but it should be your fault.
And then I made like a community post on YouTube, and shortly after I made the post, I did see that we went back down to $29.99, which pissed me off. But
it wasn't even me.
I'm glad that it wasn't you this time. I'm glad they don't, like, if you do dip back under, they don't take away the new emote they just gave you. So kept that. But I think we're back at 3,000 and something now. So that's nice. But don't stop here. 3,000 is fine, but not enough. Let's get 50,000 by the end of, let's say, May. Is that fair?
That's reasonable.
Yeah. So tell your friends, hide your wife, hide your kids.
They raping everybody out here?
Raping everybody out there. Subscribe to the youtube.com/@NotScottHenson, the only address in town which has a /at. But that's how it goes.
What is this?
What have you found now in your independent research?
It just came up when I opened the tab of
Was it a kitty cat? Because that usually comes up when you open new tabs.
That's the tab.
That's the tab.
This is like when I open the internet. Live SmackDown results.
Oh yeah, we're an hour into SmackDown. Let's update the people on this Monday about live SmackDown on Friday.
They did a 5-way number one contenders for the IC title that ended with 2 guys winning the match.
Drew McIntyre and Sheamus.
You don't say.
Happy to do it.
They doubled, like, 1 pinned Xavier, 1 pinned Cross, and now they're both going to WrestleMania to fight Gunther.
To find out who the Ubermensch is.
Yes.
Who is the best large white European?
Yes.
The answer is Gunther.
It's Gunther. Also, they announced...
But I think he's going to lose.
The first official inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame for 2023.
Is it Keiji Muto?
It is not.
Is it...
He was the second one now.
Dirty Dutch Mantel?
No.
I'm out of ideas. Those are my 2 people.
They online it broke that, according to, like, I don't know, somebody an insider, that Muto's going in this year. But the first official announcement on SmackDown is Rey Mysterio Jr.
That's weird.
An active wrestler.
They do it with active people. A guy who's going to have a match like the next day after being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Strange. Wouldn't have called that. I guess everybody said no?
Yep, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who the fuck else is there to put in? Like, you put in everybody who's big.
And other people. You put in Coco Beware.
Wow, that was early.
You put in Donald Trump.
Donald Trump, Drew Carey, Snoop Dogg, Hulk Hogan,
Ron DeSantis.
but like, who the fuck's even left?
Richard Spencer. They've been waiting to do Batista because he didn't want to do it during COVID.
Yeah,
So if he's got time, he could do it.
I guess Plutista,
And that's
John China,
That's how I guess it. Well, you'll do John China sometime. I don't know when.
Randall Kenneth Orton.
Randall Kenneth Orton. I think it'd be cool if he never got into the Hall of Fame.
Sure.
I think if he says the maybe if he says the N word on Twitch a few more times, maybe people will care. Because like he did that not long ago,
No.
a year or two.
Yeah, like early in COVID, I think, wasn't it?
And nobody cared.
Nobody cared. He's cool. He's dark skinned enough.
That's why, because he has a good
He's got a
tan.
good tan.
I'm gonna get a tan
Yeah. And then you can just say it.
and just start blasting it on Twitch.
Yeah. Yep.
There,
I
there
saw-
are no courtesies that Randy Orton should get that I shouldn't also get. We're basically the same person.
Yeah.
Anything he can do, I can do better.
I can see it. I can see it. I saw a funny TikTok that was a guy.
Are you outing yourself as a Chinese teen?
I am a Chinese teen. I'm banned. I'm now banned in the Canadian government.
Pretty exciting. I hope we keep going with that.
Me too. It needs to die. But I saw a funny one that was a guy gets a genie, and the genie says, like, he's like, okay,
Is it a blue Will Smith?
it's not a Blue Will Smith.
Okay.
And he says, okay, I don't work like normal genies. You don't get to pick your wishes. I give you an option of two things. You get one or the other.
Okay.
The guy goes, okay. He goes, so one, you can be the most misogynistic person that's ever lived and you will never feel any consequences, but you are not allowed to even be remotely racist.
Oh.
Or you can be the most racist that you can. It can be. You can do and say whatever you want, and no one will ever. And he literally turns his phone on and starts playing "N Words in Paris" by Kanye and Jay-Z. And he goes, and then he finishes and be like, you can be, but you can never do anything sexist again ever. He goes, but whatever one you choose, the thing you're not allowed to do leads to like a life sentence in prison. And then the lyrics for the song start to ramp up, and he obviously he's like, yeah, number two. He's like, I'm doing number two. He's like, you sure you can go the entire time without being misogynistic? He's like, yeah. And then I guess, is there a line in that song?
Yeah, there'll be a lyric in it.
And then he goes, oh. Yeah, it's pretty good. I would choose number two.
If I could end blast with impunity, I could force myself to be nice to ladies.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would hurt, but it'd be worth it.
I just want to be able to say the funny things that pop into my head all day that are said by black comedians.
Yeah.
I just want to quote Dave Chappelle.
I just want to be part of Black Twitter. Mm-hmm. That's all I want.
the dark web. Black Twitter, aka the dark web.
That is what that is.
Yeah. How to get on the dark web.
It's weird that
what happens if you search that?
That's a great kitty picture. It's weird that there's so much child pornography on Black Twitter. What are you searching?
How to get on the
Black
dark
Twitter
web.
the dark web?
How to get on the dark web.
I don't know. You need a fucking Tor browser and then some other
How do you
stuff.
access the dark web?
That's
the
on your
first
search
question that came up. Oh, live on air. Great. That's perfect. That's everyone's here. Heimdall. Is that who I'm supposed to go to?
I don't know. I mean, I do. But I'm
The
not gonna
Guardian
admit
of
them all.
Asgard? Anyways, I don't need to get on the dark web yet.
Soon, but not yet.
Soon, but not yet.
After the pod.
After you go to bed.
Oh, after
After
I go to Slumber Town, it's dark web time.
Yep, sure is. I'm gonna watch Unfriended Dark Web.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You
That
haven't
win Best Picture?
You haven't seen it.
I have not.
Oh, did the...
I've seen Adam's video on Unfriended 1. That's how much I know.
Gotcha.
Which is enough. But have you heard our video? And by that I mean
Our
audio in video form. Untickled, 2016.
I don't know, maybe.
Brought to us by Jacob D. Was this Jacob's bonus pick for the tip on the last one, I think? Because he picked an anime.
Yeah.
And then thought we did a good job and sent a tip, and we made like a quiet agreement with ourselves. If he tipped enough, we'd give him a free one.
Right.
And he did, and I think it was this. I think that's how that went down.
Jesus Christ.
Now I'm good. I wasn't before, I was lying. But now I'm good. Can you say the same?
No, I'm not good. I'm too high right now. The golden raspberries are tomorrow.
Ooh.
I don't think we actually we didn't look at the nominations together. Did you see them at all?
I think I had a look.
They did a cowards thing again.
There's the Machine Gun Kelly one.
Yeah.
And then some other stuff. What's the cowards thing?
They removed a nominee again.
Oh, like when they removed the Bruce Willis one because they felt bad about Bruce Willis?
The girl who plays the girl in the Firestarter remake. Mm-hmm. And they received numerous criticisms for the nomination of child actress Ryan Kira Armstrong for her performance in Firestarter. Because in the past, Golden Razzie nominations for child actors have been harmful to their careers, such as Gary Coleman, Macaulay Culkin, Jake Lloyd. Fellow child actor Julian Hillard said the Razzies crossed a line that the nomination put Armstrong at the risk of bullying or worse.
Shut up. And Gary Coleman had an amazing career. He was on a Different Strokes?
Yeah.
It took me a while. I'm like, it's one of the 70s, 80s black ones. Is it a Good Times? Is it a What's Happening? No, it's Different Strokes. He did that, and then he did a bunch of like cameos on shit where he was kind of a joke.
Yeah.
And then he walked into the counter and bled to death while his girlfriend watched him.
Because she was terrified of blood.
Because she was scared of blood. And then long after he was dead, she called 911. I mean, that's a career.
That is so fucking funny. That she let her boyfriend die because she's afraid of blood.
Ew, blood.
And doesn't call the police.
No.
I think there was something about like she ran and hid in a closet or something.
I think so. I think she like literally ran out of the room.
The blood.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Oh boy.
He fell on the stairs. And
I thought he just like literally walked into the counter because it's forehead height.
Yeah. It says that he fell on the stairs after possibly having a seizure. He died. Nope, that's about the funeral. I don't care about that. Questions are raised as to whether Price, whoever the girlfriend is,
murdered him.
Who approved discontinuing Coleman's life support, was legally authorized to do so.
Oh, so even if she didn't murder him in the house, she might have murdered him in the hospital.
That's wild. That's so funny. Poor Gary Coleman. That's an awful way to go.
We lost you, GC.
But no, so they took the coward's way out, and then nominated like a bunch of movies that nobody saw.
They do that sometimes. It was because usually there's like a big right wing movie that most people haven't heard of, but is funny.
I mean, did anybody see Good Morning, the Machine Gun Kelly one?
No.
Did anybody see The King's Daughter, that one with Pierce Brosnan that got pushed back like 10 years? Did anybody see it though?
Nobody saw it. Nobody saw it. Like people heard of it, and it's a funny thing.
Sure.
It was literally on the shelf for 12 years.
Yeah. Marmaduke.
There's a 2020.
Yeah, we talked about it. Pete Davidson. Remember we watched the trailer for it and it was horrible?
Is there an earlier Marmaduke?
Yeah, there's one with
Owen Wilson?
Luke Wilson? Owen Wilson?
Okay.
Wilson.
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 Andrew
Wilson.
The third.
Yeah, like Mac and Rita. Did anybody see that?
No, they didn't.
There's a lot of nominations for Blonde, which is funny.
There are, because it also has Oscar nominated. I like. Is Anna nominated for Worst Actress?
No.
Too bad, because it's amazing when the same person is nominated for the Oscar and Razzie in the same category. Like, one of you got it wrong. Well, I think
oh boy.
I think
No.
that might have been the case for Glenn Close in Hillbilly Elegy.
No. You're wrong.
I know Hillbilly Elegy got at least a Razzie nomination, but I don't know if it was for actress or supporting actress or whatever for Glenn Close.
It was last year, right?
I think so. Did anyone see that? Nobody saw it. Did you see that?
You're saying it got nominated or she got nominated?
I don't know. I think Hillbilly Elegy got some Razzie nomination, but I don't know if it was Glenn Close. Or it was the year before.
Yeah, well, if it was, it's the year before. Oh, but did... What did he win for?
Whomst?
Supporting actor? What did he lose for? Oh, Razzie Redeemer. Boo! They redeemed Will Smith for a movie no one saw.
Oh, cool.
Where they lied about how good he was. Hillbilly.
You know, I heard
it was the year before.
It was.
Yeah, it was nominated for Worst Director Ron Howard, Worst Supporting Actress Glenn Close, and Worst Screenplay.
Oh, so Glenn Close was nominated for the same thing for Oscars and Razzies. Yeah. That's great. That kind of makes me want to watch it, actually.
Yeah.
Also, I had no idea that Ron Howard directed that.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither. But she didn't win Worst... Sorry, Glenn Close did not win Worst Supporting Actress for the Razzies because it went to I Have Autism Girl from Music.
Oh, nice.
The most tone-deaf movie I think I've ever seen anything for.
Music cleaned up at those Razzies, right? Did it win Worst Picture?
Well, I closed it now, so you're on your own.
Fair enough. Let's say it did.
Let's talk about 2016 Sigled.
Love to.
We're already an hour in, so we should probably...
No, we're not.
We're not. We're 32 minutes in.
Oh, you're such a liar. You're such a fucking liar.
It's still a lot. It's still too much.
Yeah, it's still too much, and you're still a fucking liar.
Yeah, well, I hate you. So, this is a beautiful documentary.
This is a documentary. There are two documentaries that you should show all your friends. Those documentaries are Tickled and Catfish.
Yeah.
I have shown both of those movies to lots of people. Zero bad reactions. Everyone is like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I love it.
I could have never imagined that was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like the best. This is on both of our top 10s for 2016. Certainly mine.
Yep.
I think yours too. Yeah.
That's on my computer. I'm not going to check.
Who's got the time?
Who's got time? Yeah. It's perfect.
So we find ourselves with
David Farrier.
with a gay journalist.
Gay journalist.
Gay New Zealand journalist David Farrier, who writes for a number of reputable publications.
Lost you there for a second, but we got your back. It's good.
I'm like, there's got to be a word that comes after reputable, and you know they're reputable because the right wing calls them all fake news. So you know they're not. And he's doing a bunch of just sort of wacky human interest stories at the time, and he's just sort of cruising the net, surfing the web, as it were. Has anyone ever called it that before?
Cruising the web? No.
For interesting things, and stumbles upon these competitive sport tickling competitions. Yeah. And looks into
competitions is a real loose term, though.
It is very loose, but that's how it's packaged, basically, to the outsider at least. And I guess he found information on getting into it, and what he finds, I'm like, oh, I would absolutely do some gay tickling shit for 4 nights in a nice hotel and $1,500. You kidding me?
Or a free truck, and
Yeah.
there was way more.
Oh yeah, there was more as it goes on, but that's like what was like publicly advertised right at the start. I'm like, that's good.
Yeah.
I like to travel. I like $1,500.
You love being tickled by other men.
I love being tickled by other men. Where's the downside? So he gets in touch with these people to. Because he's like, hey, I came across this. It seems really interesting. I'd love to write a story on it for blah blah blah. And he is met with immediate abuse.
Yeah.
Which is such a funny, weird move. It's actually a baffling move. Because like, why? Okay, ostensibly they don't want him to write a story about it.
Yes.
They
don't want them to. They don't want him to look into this any further than he's already looked into it.
Is that the way to get that done?
It is not. It is a real. I didn't rape that person, and you'd better go around and tell everybody that I didn't do the rape.
Yeah, like their initial response is oh no, yeah. So they, I think they just straight up call him. How early in the pod are we?
36 minutes.
It's interesting. It's a real tester. I don't know if you want to do it.
Well, they definitely.
What if I'm quoting them? I'm not saying.
Well, the quote from them is not the derogatory one. That's at the very end of the quote of the email is. But it says, "We do not want any homosexual journalists writing their stories about our thing to get off with like their homosexual tendencies."
Yeah, and we desperately do not want a homosexual participant base applying for this.
Yes,
this is a strictly heterosexual
hetero
activity.
Bros only, no gays.
Yeah, like
and then at the very end, they call them the cool word, but
then they go to Cool World.
Yeah, they go to Cool World.
But yeah, it's the weirdest move to antagonize someone wanting an interview. How about, thanks so much for your interest. We're unavailable for an interview at this time.
Or how about don't answer. Respond.
Don't answer.
If you don't respond, then they can't find you.
And then they double down and like they send more than one email to him.
They keep doing it.
And they just get like progressively funnier.
Yep.
And like they're basically just trolling him, and I kind of respect it. This is a this is a passionately and exclusively heterosexual athletic endurance activity. And then they I'm going to read my next note, and it is a quote of something someone else said in an email. YouTube context is important. They literally call him a faggot.
They really do.
They say,
really straight up do.
Yeah, it's crazy. And he's like, and David is so chill.
Yeah, he really
he's like,
is.
And this made me curious and want to look into it. I'm like, of course it made you curious. What the fuck was their end game?
Yeah, with somebody responding to you like that, there's no way as a journalist you're not going to go, well, something's not right here.
Well, I'm all in on this. So, yeah, so then so it's a company that's behind these tickling competitions, the Jane O'Brien company,
Jane O'Brien Media,
and Jane O'Brien Media sends several dignitaries to New Zealand to like discuss with him. I guess. And and he brings like a really passive aggressive sign to meet them at the airport.
He does, but I think they're so dumb that they look at it as like, this is really sweet.
Yeah, they didn't seem actually mad at the sign, but then the one guy did seem mad at David.
Yeah. Well, no, like the first guy, super nice.
Yeah.
Second guy, some weird little twink.
I love that guy.
And then the third guy, at first, very friendly.
Yeah, and then just switches.
And then it's just like, bam. Like, nothing really happens.
No, it's like, because like David wasn't really antagonized.
He said, settle in whenever
when he saw he was being filmed.
Yeah,
is what switched it for him.
And then he just like lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when he contacts them next, they like have no interest in being anywhere near the cameras. They're just gonna talk to them.
Yeah.
He's being really diplomatic. The first guy's being like very diplomatic, but then that same guy is like pushing back so hard about like everything.
Yeah.
And like completely turns from like a reasonable human being into just like a scumbag.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because there's the little twink named Adam. I wrote, there's something wrong with Adam, right? Because he maybe he's like an ex-meth head or something.
Yeah, or he's definitely was high or is high. Maybe he was like a sex slave or something.
Could have been, yeah. And then there's the pretty like nice and reasonable younger guy, and then the older guy Kevin, who when I first watched this, I thought that the guy that we were mentioning got angry at the airport. My initial thought was he's the guy.
Yeah, me too.
Like behind like the mastermind of it all. He wasn't. Spoiler. Who was I even talking about when I wrote, dude looks like a non-fucked up Steve-O?
Just the first guy, the first performer guy they interviewed, right?
Yes.
Who was working out in the gym?
The younger guy. Yeah, that's exactly who. Yeah, so they find... So they... things don't go great between the two parties in New Zealand, and basically legal stuff is threatened. And... And David's, I think David and the other guy are co-directors, actually, right?
They're co-directors. Yeah.
So his co-director says, well, I guess that's that. And David says, let's fly to America.
Yeah, let's go after them and see what they do.
Yeah. So they do. And they try to get a hold of a lot of people who were in these tickling things, and they got one who actually agreed to be
on camera
because everyone else has been threatened, bullied, life already ruined.
Get doxxed.
Yeah, fully doxxed. Like just like, here's their home address and schedule. Here's where you can find them at any hour of the day.
Place of work, their boss's phone number. Yeah.
Yeah. Hope no one goes and kills you.
Yeah. Well, and like he was like, it's weird because he seemed like he was like 23 and he was still trying to play professional football. Like, right. So he was like, oh, like, you know, they would send it to like every football camp, every team I tried out for.
Yeah.
Then David asks him, like, did you get cut because of them? He's like, no, but I know that they know. And then they're like, well, we don't really want the distraction on the team. And then they were like sending stuff to his like house and his parent, one of his parents, his mom or something.
Yeah.
And that's like, oh yeah, and like he was a coach for football at a high school.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know that you're like sending email or letters and emails to the school saying like, this guy you employed at gay porn, is that who you want around your kids coaching them?
And in most states, the answer to that is no.
No.
Yes, and I guess it was framed in a lot of ways, or I don't know if it's just the guy speculating, because he's like, what is this for? And he's like, I don't know if it was told to him or just something he thought, but I think he said like maybe this is like a project for the military.
That's what one of that
new like interrogation technique. Yeah. I'm like, this is a project for the military.
Well, even he said that.
I think I guess that's it. And then the person writing to him and threatening him from Jane O'Brien Media is Debbie J. Kuhn, and I did KUHN YouTube. Saved it. And I did notice even on first watch, because I've watched this several times now, David J. Kuhn does not write like a female.
No.
Like females by and large do not write threatening emails in that way. Not that they don't write threatening emails, but not this way. I can't really describe it, but it was a very male vibe.
Yeah, it was.
Was the way the language was.
Yeah.
And they full on dox the guy, and And then I did a thing I didn't agree with, because like basically they're calling him gay and telling everyone he is gay. I'm like, you can't call him gay. You said it was passionately and exclusively heterosexual. That's going against your own
statements,
motto.
Your own statements.
So that angered me. You can't have it both ways, Debbie J. Kuhn. If that is your real name, it's not.
They did talk to a different guy.
Wholesome tickling fetish guy.
Wholesome tickling
big
fetish
fan.
Guy. Yeah.
Looks just a nice little weirdo. Looks you right in the eye when he shakes your hand. He's like, yeah, I'm a tickling fetish guy. I film tickling fetish videos. How you doing?
I make it nice for everybody. Nobody's weird about it.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Here's what wholesome tickling guy. He ain't hurting nobody. I love the wholesome. I love the wholesome creep archetype.
Yes.
It's a cool kind of person. Like, I'm a big weirdo. I like a weird thing. I'm not hurting anybody, and I'm okay with it, and I hope you are too. And if you're not okay, that's okay too. I'm pretty chill for a big weirdo.
Yep. I quit my job. This is my job. It's my passion and my job.
Yeah, and he was able to quit his job really fast.
A year in or something, he said,
Faster than us with the podcast.
Which makes me think I should get invested in other stuff.
I think we should do tickling videos and a furry clothing line, and then we can probably quit all of our other endeavors.
And then we can spend that money buying merchandise for movies?
Yes.
Okay, deal.
Yeah, so I like that guy a lot. And then... yeah, then I guess they're getting into the history a bit. I wrote, the internet, hooking up like-minded creeps since the mid-90s.
Yep.
It's, that might be the thing that the internet is best at.
Yeah.
Is the internet more successful at anything than hooking up like-minded creeps? Getting creeps of the same type together.
Making Japanese professional wrestling women kill themselves. R.I.P. Hana.
R.I.P. Hana Kimura. Damn.
But still, is that not like that's pretty high up there?
Cyberbullying is probably
cyberbullying's probably number 2.
Yeah.
Etsy's number 3.
Of course.
Yeah.
Love Etsy.
Evil thing. Etsy.
Crafts. Yeah, they were showing like old tickling videos.
They're showing like the OG sort of.
I love
Tickle Terry.
Yeah, Tickle Terry. I love that they got Real Player on a Windows 98 screen.
Yep,
love it. Great job.
Not bad.
So the big tickling person on the internet in like the 90s was this Tickle Terry, who was just like scouring every Usenet group and AOL chat room for tickling videos.
Yeah,
just like couldn't get enough,
couldn't stop.
Yeah. And then I guess began producing tickling videos and had some employees who never met her.
Nope.
Including David Starr.
David Starr.
Cool name.
Probably the coolest David Starr.
He's the number one David Starr. Did I write that? Or did I just assume that? No, I did. Oh, no. The cool David Starr. I knew I wrote something to that effect. Dave, I don't think you need to brag about upping the production quality of the tickling videos. Because he sort of was like... Because I guess he has some like film experience.
Yeah.
And
well, they said he was in gay porn in the...
Was it gay porn or regular porn?
I don't know. I assume gay porn. Look at
I think it was actually regular.
All right, I'll look it up.
I insist you do. Yeah, right. Search David Starr porn. See what we get.
100%. What's doing?
Don't search Star of David porn.
I mean, I typed in David Starr porn, and it came up with gay porn.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm wrong. So yeah, so he was...
no, this is not
our guy.
This is not our guy. This is like newer stuff.
Yeah,
there must be another new gay porn star named David Starr.
A third David Starr in our lives.
Vintage porn.
Yeah, so he was working for her, but then I don't really get how he angered her and she turned on him. What was the catalyst for that?
I don't know if there was a catalyst. Was there?
Or she just decided to turn on him.
Or like, was he?
I don't think he really did anything.
Well, I think... Did he tell some of the performer, or like he guided the performers away from the from it,
Maybe.
or something?
Maybe something like
and she found out and was like really mad about it, or something like that.
It might be something like that. So yeah. So regardless of what it was, Tickle Terry started going like real hard on David Starr, just sending him like abusive letters like every day,
including like personal information about his brother being dead.
Yes, I think sent a birthday card to his mother.
Yes,
about his dead brother.
Yeah.
And basically say the wrong son died or something.
Yeah, or something like that.
Repeatedly calling him horny, hairy, and hook-nosed.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. I love that she keeps going for the slurs.
Yeah.
I mean, she has a playbook and sticks to it. I like that. Yeah, just like truly psychotic shit.
Yeah. And then he had one that he hadn't even opened yet.
Yes.
And he opened it live on air. Yeah.
Yeah, because he just had a stack, because like there were so many.
Yeah.
And so then we get to there was an incident where what was it, Drexel University? Or is Drexel just a Portland deathmatch worker?
No, it's a university.
Yeah, I think it might have been that. Or it was something with an X in it. I don't know.
Philadelphia.
There you go. Where
they're a dragon.
Where the entire in the I don't know, like maybe late 90s, early 2000s, where the entire university computer system was shut down, and it was made to look like someone else did it, which is pretty sophisticated.
Yeah.
So and this was somehow like tied with Tickle Terry.
Yes.
And I think through that and some sleuthing, they were able, because is that, do we get the reveal there, or is it later?
No, it's around there.
Okay, yeah, because
somewhere around there.
Yeah, the next thing I wrote was, of course it's a dude. Women aren't aggressive creeps like this.
Yeah. Just like a one small note that I wrote for it was when I think it was Tickle Terry wasn't like being as active, and was like, oh, I'm really sick, I'm in the hospital, and then was like in the hospital with mono for 6 months.
Yeah,
like what?
Yeah, there's a period where Tickle Terry was only communicating via handwritten letter and no emails for like 6 months.
But we found out why.
Yes. Yeah, saying she was really sick with mono in the hospital, and I'll be communicating like this for a while. So remember that. Yeah. Then we... and I guess they show a picture of the guy, and I wrote, he looks exactly how he should look.
Yep.
Like, if I was to picture the guy doing this, that's the
man.
That's the guy. Then we talk to the one other tickling victim, for lack of a better term, in Michigan, and I'm like, oh damn, Michigan fucking sucks.
Yeah, it does. When they're driving through the city,
it is a wasteland.
Everything's closed down. They're like, oh, we're like top 10 most like criminal cities in America.
Yeah, I wrote, damn, Michigan sucks. Probably should have kept making cars.
Yeah, probably.
Probably should have kept industry. So then so they talk to this guy, and they I guess by this point it was Jane O'Brien Media had this poor guy like running. He was like they were like recruiting through him.
Yeah.
And like and he had a fair bit of information about it. He's like, there's like this cell here in Detroit or wherever, and there's a cell here, a cell here. I'm like,
they're like all over the US.
I fucking love that it's in cells, literally like terrorists.
Yep.
So that was very cool. And Yeah, then I wrote because there's so much of it, and I don't know, semi spoiler. It's all this one person behind it. I'm like, how can you need this much fetish content? Greedy,
Never stops.
greedy.
Yeah, you need it all.
Look, there is a finite number of tickling videos that you need. It does not need to go forever.
I mean, you like variety, right?
It's the spice of life, but nevertheless, how many individual tickling videos does this motherfucker have?
Oh, unlimited.
Yeah.
Like he would never be able to.
I was gonna say he has more than he'll ever watch.
Yeah.
He has more videos than lifetime comes left.
Yeah, he would never be able to, even if it was one per video for the rest of his life.
Not going to make it.
Not even close. Not even putting a dent in it.
So what are you doing? You don't need all of that.
It's just being greedy, Scott.
Pick your favorite 10.
Just a greedy pig.
He's literally a greedy pig. We haven't said his name. David D'Amato is the guy. And I love to get Blato. He's a school teacher, which is always nice.
Was a school teacher.
I hear they're grooming our kids. Have you heard anything about this?
Yeah, they comb their hair and trim their pubes.
Yeah. Yes, so that's most of what I had. They find, okay, so they do some research on David D'Amato. He comes from money, because they're like, how is he financing all it? Because like the Michigan kid, you like gave him a $40,000 truck, bunch of money, just like unlimited. Like you want it, you can have it.
Yeah.
If you keep producing tickling content, basically. And the amount spent on flights alone, like flying everyone, because for a while it was just flying everyone to LA and doing it there, but yeah, just like almost unlimited money. So his dad was like one of the #1 lawyers in New York City, and they make money.
Wonder what his background was.
I wonder what his background was. Actually Italian, probably. Yeah. I hate to say it. I'm the last person to not accuse someone of being Jewish, but I believe he is Italian. And he's clearly like the black sheep of the family because he's a disgusting creep.
The
monster.
Creep.
If it was just the fetish, because we've established you can be wholesome and have the fetish, because we met a guy with that.
Yep,
and he was fine.
He was fine, normal guy.
That's not David D'Amato. David D'Amato's a fucking monster, and just like ruining people's lives and honestly, the ruining lives is another fetish he has. Clearly, like the bullying.
Yeah.
Because, like, just look how he treated David based on one innocent email. Like, he likes to do this. I guess, and all of it is a power thing. Like tying someone down and tickling them, power thing.
Ruining somebody's life by calling them the F slur.
Yeah.
Power thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, like, this guy is just a true piece of shit. And, so they stake out his address and eventually follow him to a Starbucks and briefly get a bit of him on camera. He obviously wants nothing to do with it, and I think he makes more legal threats. Also,
he's weirdly very polite at the beginning, though.
He is polite,
and then when he realizes, I
think he knows he's on camera right away.
Yeah, then
so
he's
not
like,
gonna flip
get
out.
away from me.
Yeah. And legal threats are also a big part of the bullying.
Yeah.
And then they reveal that I think he had a lawyer from his dad's offices send like one thing once, but one thing was sent by a lawyer, but 1,000 things were sent with the lawyer's name on it.
The name on it and the letterhead,
and every single thing besides the first was just him faking it.
Yeah, and it also stated that the headquarters for everything was this lawyer's office.
Yeah.
Which he was...
Yeah, the headquarters of Jane O'Brien Enterprises was this lawyer's office, and the lawyer's like, I don't even know what Jane O'Brien Enterprise
Yeah,
is.
he's like, no, wasn't.
What
It's
do
not
you?
me.
This is just my like. You can come in. It's
Yeah,
just. It's
I
just
work.
my office.
Yeah, I just work here.
It's not even very big. Yeah, so just like everything's a lie, and just like in the same way Catfish does, it just like unravels, and it's just like reveal after reveal, and like this is fucking awesome. I love this. And then what they don't tell you, because the documentary was made before it happened, so it's excusable. David D'Amato died very suddenly the year after this documentary premiered. In March 2007.
You skipped so much.
Oh, well, do the parts I skipped.
No.
No, please do.
No. Well, my favorite part of it was when they called his former stepmom.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, we just want to ask you a couple questions about David. And she goes, what about him?
Yeah.
And like, well, we just want to know if we can get in touch with him. And like, oh, well, why? What do you need? And like, well, he's back to the tickling thing.
She's like,
and she goes, again?
Yeah.
She goes, for how long? And then he goes, I don't think it
never
ever
stopped.
stopped. And she goes, no.
Jesus.
And then just kind of gives more backstory on
Yeah.
like the relationship within the family.
Yeah.
And then it was like, maybe I maybe thought he was gay, but then I asked his father, like, if he was gay, would you disown him? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. I'd still love him, but I would never speak to him again. And yeah, horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't even know if he is gay. He's never had a
or he's
asexual. He's never had a
or
relationship, man or woman. Yeah. It's just the tickling.
Yeah, it's just the tickling.
It's his mistress.
There was a...
and then the end of that conversation with her is actually kind of chilling, because he's talking about getting in touch with them, and she's like, just don't. I'm like, she said, like, I'm scared of him.
Yeah.
Because like clearly he's like made threats towards the family in addition to strangers as well.
Yeah.
And the missing 6 months was the time he served in jail for, I don't know if it was for that computer fraud or...
I think it was implied it was maybe the computer fraud.
Yeah.
But...
So that was that. Yeah, I guess the computer... I forgot the reason for the computer fraud. It was to target another tickling victim that he had turned on. And and he hacked the whole university's computer system, made it look like it was the guy.
Yeah.
And the I don't know if it was the FBI or maybe even the Secret Service.
Yeah.
Showed up at the guy's dorm, and he's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Then
not me.
Yeah. So that they did eventually prove it wasn't him, and it was David D'Amato, super hacker.
So there's a 2017 20-minute follow-up called The Tickle King.
I haven't watched the follow-up.
Which features new footage documenting the bizarre and unsettling things that happened to the filmmaker. Now, what if I told you that there's some very interesting information?
I like some interesting information.
So, this started from Reddit.
Yeah.
But then there is articles that I can show, or I can show my work.
Is it fake news?
So this person says, I have a really hard time believing this man is dead. If you search Jane O'Brien Media on Facebook, you still find an active Tickle community. They have a website, tickletopia.com,
nice,
with a message that sounds eerily similar to things that I heard in the documentary. At the bottom of the website is a link to an email address for a Louis Peluso. The website states, from the grungy hotel stylings of TD Design, which was the Tickle Terry, to the early days of Jane O'Brien Media, it didn't take me long to discover that TD Designs was the name of Tickle Terry's company that David Starr sent the videos to. According to the documentary, Tickle Terry and Jane O'Brien never had any business or personal affiliation, yet here it is on this Tickletopia website. I was able to find another business, David's Video Editing, listed at the same address as Jane O'Brien Media. It's located in LA, but was a New York area code. The phone number.
Yeah.
This guy is seriously deranged, I believe very much alive and operating under the alias Luis Peluso. The phone number for David's video editing is not a New York number, but it is still an active line. And then here's like people saying like, he's dead. Here's the thing, certificate. So Jane O'Brien Media on Facebook.
Yeah.
The intro: lean, muscular, all caps, ticklish guys 18 to 25 from all over the world test their strength, stamina, and agility.
Oh, close.
Yep.
Tried their best. Must be straight.
Then the email, it doesn't say that. The email is that Luis Peluso thing at yahoo.com. Sadly, Tickletopia is not a website anymore.
Boo.
So we can't go to it. But it's making active posts up to December.
Okay.
So
Pretty recently.
And then, so the fact that it has the same connection to the Tickle Terry stuff, which in the documentary has no connection, and now they're all on the same website, and then there's an article. Is it this one? Life After the Tickle King. Why, if David D'Amato is dead, does Jane O'Brien Media and the world of competitive endurance tickling live on? The filmmakers behind Tickled address the conspiracy theories and reveal a new side to the story and lawsuits that simply won't go away.
Can we combine Tickle King and Tiger King?
You're going to tickle tigers?
I'm going to tickle tigers.
Okay. So, I guess even after his death, whoever was in charge of Jane O'Brien Media, which is still him who's not dead, there were at least a couple other lawsuit-related stuff that had gone through, like, after he was dead, towards the tickled people. He also sued his ex-mother-in-law, ex-stepmom for like defamation of character or whatever. And then this Luis Peluso guy, like I guess his name is on some checks, and he also was receiving payments from D'Amato's like account or whatever.
D'Amato had like a giant trust. That's where all the money was coming from.
And his like living expenses were paid for.
Everything
like,
was paid for, yeah.
So this Luis Peluso guy also left a 5-star rating on the website that just said like, rest in peace, David. And that's the whole thing. The picture appears to be of a man that kind of looks a little bit like him, but you can't see his lower face. So he was, so there's a payment to him of $75,000 made from TD Designs, which is the Tickle Terry stuff, made in 2013. So they're like, he's been... Peluso also has a history in producing gay pornography, in the case under the name Dex Jones.
Nice.
We tried to contact him, but he would not respond to our attempts.
You don't say.
Yeah. So I guess there is some evidence, according to people, of him that like they think that this Peluso guy is him, just like faking his own death, creating this other character, and still running all of the stuff
rolling.
Especially because he died so suddenly.
He died suddenly, and there's no information on the death.
Yeah, and it was right after the documentary.
Yeah,
so it almost makes me seem like he was like, well, fuck. Like the only way to get this to go away is to pretend like I'm dead.
Change gears on this.
Yeah,
that's very interesting. I didn't know. The only post documentary thing I knew was he was apparently died very shortly after the documentary. The directors posted a statement on their website that they were incredibly sad to learn of it, and there's almost no information on the death.
Yeah, and they told everybody like, don't be mean about it, he's dead.
Yeah.
And it's like,
also I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the you can't be mean after
I think you have to show respect.
Not into that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I am all for celebrating the deaths of people I do not enjoy, even people who have mildly wronged me. If you are a net negative, even if it's just slight, I will dance on your grave.
There's a couple people I'm waiting to piss on their graves, for sure. And you know what? I'll spit on their grave. Ooh, I'll spit on their grave too.
As you should.
Meaning I'll
I'll
do all the stuff from the movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say all the men that brutally raped you.
Yeah. I'm gonna murder all of them.
It's too bad they're all gonna outlive you because they're healthier than you.
Because they're healthier.
I mean, you get a lot of exercise raping.
You do. And if you're doing it consistently enough,
It's a full,
you don't even need to go to the gym.
It's a full aerobic workout.
It really is. Gets all the body parts moving.
Paranoia Agent Season 1 of 1. What have you lost?
I don't know where I put my phone.
You look full of confusion.
That's cool.
Did you lose your phone?
It's chill.
Do you need your phone?
Nope.
Do you have your notes on your computer?
No, they're right there.
Well, then you're good. Then I'm revoking phone privileges. Brought to us by Brian D. / Here I Am.
Brian D's nuts.
Brian D's nuts. So this is
Is he one of the subscriber Brians?
He's a subscriber, Brian.
One of the 5 or whatever, 4?
It's at least 4. Yeah. And we're looking for more all the time. Brian, if you're listening, click the join button.
Brian, it's free real estate. Just for you, bud.
So this is an anime request,
which
always puts us back on our heels a little bit. However, it's a Satoshi Kon anime request, and
it's his only
television series to go along with his four movies before he fucking straight up died. And we're like, okay, well, we've actually done a Satoshi Kon movie on the request and very much enjoyed it.
We did.
So this is a more promising, less daunting anime series request than some others. And you know what? I quite liked it. Drew, your thoughts?
It was alright. I liked it better than everything else we've watched.
Sure.
Because it was... Yeah. Wasn't so like a million things flashing at my face.
It was not the.
There wasn't 40 characters I'm supposed to recognize.
It did not
care about.
Have the overstimulation vibe of, say, a Fooly Cooly or I guess to a degree, a Mob Psycho 100.
Yep.
And sort of your revolutionary girl Utena, which is borderline incomprehensible.
Incomprehensible. Inconceivable.
Yeah, like this had a clear story, and I actually really liked the way it revealed information over the course of the series.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool how they did it. Also, on the not the first, but on episode 2, I was hooked on the opening theme song.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
I saw a note that it says the iconic opening of Paranoia Agent...
It is iconic.
...is recognized for most likely being the first anime intro ever to be uploaded onto the website YouTube.
Wow.
The original post of the opening was uploaded on November 20th, 2005, roughly just 8 months after the first video had been uploaded on YouTube.
Wow.
So that's why so many people recognize it, is because it's been on YouTube forever.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. I like the song. The visuals are cool. The visuals are like every character in the show one at a time, like laughing at the camera.
At the camera.
Yeah, it's and
like
also
lunatics.
Like crazy laughing. Yeah. And lyrics are great. There's a mention of a magnificent mushroom cloud in the sky. I'm like, get over it, Japan. Come on. That
was 60 years ago.
Every single piece of media, really?
You
can't give it a break once.
Get over your dead parents.
Get over your dead parents. I don't know what my first note besides that is, but I think it's funny. So it must be something early in episode 1. If you recognize what's going on, great. I wrote, oh, sorry, children. I'll let you get back to your pornography. Was it Kids on Computers?
Mm,
Really don't know what it was.
yeah, I
But
don't remember either.
It's a good line though. And
So it's broken up every episode. Not every episode, but like
each one kind of focuses on a character.
yeah, like you're introduced to characters throughout that you're kind of like learning their story leading up to like an inciting incident.
Yeah.
But then the inciting incidents are like all connected to
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah, exactly. So there's
And that is violence.
violence. So yeah, so there's a woman who has created a very famous like animated character
Yeah.
for a Disney type situation.
Yeah.
And now it's weird, like she's under the gun
Yeah.
for creating another famous character, and if she doesn't,
Even though
she's in big trouble.
she's made them billions
I was
of
gonna
dollars.
say, like, if you created Mickey Mouse, is it really like should there be a lot of pressure to
No.
create another one like right now?
Yeah.
Like you've done, like you're okay for a while. Again, you're making billions. Everyone's good. So so that premise was strange. But anyway, she's like super stressed about it and blah blah blah, and she's walking down a dark street and hears a noise and sees an old lady, and then some little fucker with a baseball bat
Some fucking hoodlum.
wheels up on his rollerblades and beats the goddamn shit out of her.
There's so much rollerblading in this episode, like of the podcast.
Oh yeah, there is.
There's so much later.
This is a very rollerbladey episode.
It sure is.
Yeah, and it must have been in relation to stuff on this is before the the beating. That I wrote, I don't read the comments, so it must have been people talking negatively
Yeah.
about her in some regard.
Some chat room.
And then, then I wrote, oh, I get it. She's crazy. And I also wrote, so far, not overstimulated. This is a good sign.
Yep, it's for the most part at least the very beginning episodes are very like grounded in reality.
Yeah.
It gets a little wild at the end.
It does get wild at the end.
But to start it's very chill.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you're like, okay, I can accept this.
Yeah.
It's relaxing.
Yeah, so like the woman's in the hospital. She tells the police what happened, so they're on the lookout for a cool kid in a baseball hat and rollerblades with a bat. Affectionately dubbed Lil Slugger, which I'm a big fan of. My translation had it as the Japanese name, which is Shonen Bat.
Shonen Bat.
Which is fine, but I'm a Lil Slugger man all the way.
I mean, I also do like Shonen Bat. That's also a pretty cool name.
They're both cool, but I do like a Lil Slugger. So in the next episode, we're introduced to like a school kid who looks like Lil Slugger,
Yeah.
like the description of Lil Slugger, and he's like the most popular boy in middle school.
Gonna be class president
Definitely gonna be class president. And I was
unless
like,
something bad happens to him.
and I was like, the perils of being fucking awesome.
Yep.
Top student, top athlete, potential murderer, all good stuff.
Why were you class president? Or do they not let whites be the president?
We had prefects and
I don't know what that is.
like elected student
Officials?
officials, and then we had head boy.
Oh,
Yeah,
did you get to be the head boy?
I was a prefect. I was not head boy. The outstanding athlete Andrew Poole was head boy of the junior school in grade 7, and then Imran Ratanshi was head boy of the senior school in grade 12.
Is he a doctor?
He's
A neurosurgeon.
Ooh, is he a doctor? He might be a doctor.
Well.
I think he is. Yeah. It's a good guess. You played the odds.
I know the audience.
Yeah.
I'm playing to the strengths.
So ever since this poor woman who might be mentally ill was attacked, his popularity has waned because people think it might have been him.
And why do they think it's him?
Because he looks like him.
Because he owns rollerblades.
He owns rollerblades.
And he plays baseball.
So
like,
I mean,
matches up for me.
Checks a lot of the boxes. And then there's like a fat kid running against him for class president, and he's like, it must be this pig spreading rumors about me.
Yep.
Even though the kid like couldn't be nicer.
Yeah.
Even after he's a dick to the kid, he like confronts the kid and like gets in his face and grabs his collar, and then but then someone filmed that and sent it to everyone, but then the kid like still covered for him. He's like, "Oh no, we were just talking. It was fine. He wasn't
goofing.
He wasn't being mean," which just made him even angrier.
Yeah.
And there's also like a kind of sleazy reporter guy who's trying to get the scoop on everything, and I wrote, I don't think we should have called that kid a pig when this guy is in the mix. Definitely a bigger pig.
Yeah.
Where? Oh, yeah, and the police are also still questioning the lady, and she's just gone like non-verbal autistic on them.
Yeah.
She's just like not even really talking anymore. She's so traumatized and crazy. Yeah. Then like the next episode is well, I'll say what my first line regarding the episode is. Imagine being so much of a whore you get dissociative identity disorder. So it's a lady who works at a university and is also
who's fully bipolar.
Yeah, is also a tutor. Because everyone is like kind of interconnected. And she's a tutor to what kid? Is she a tutor to the... Oh, I guess the kid from the last episode, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also has another identity that is a prostitute, and they leave each other angry voicemails.
Yeah.
Which is a very funny thing to do.
Yeah.
And then we also get another cop, not either of the two main ones investigating, who's like kind of crooked and is like on the take from the Yakuza, and also she is his favorite whore.
Yep.
And I did enjoy...
Mine too.
I did enjoy one line where he's like, "No, you have to call me daddy or this doesn't work."
Yep.
Which, with more information revealed later, makes it even grosser.
Way worse.
Like, so, like, this... it's weird, because the guy's presented as, like, a little bit sympathetic.
Yep.
But he's a fucking monster. He was, spoiler for later, he's selling child pornography of his own daughter, which completely estranges them. She becomes a runaway.
Yep.
And also gets beaten within an inch of her life by Lil Slugger. As many characters do. And then, so knowing he's doing that, making a prostitute call him daddy, is even worse.
Even worse.
It's terrible. Then I guess, and so then he is the next victim of a Lil Slugger attack. However, it's not that good an attack. And he's like he gets up from it.
He gets some shots in.
Gets up from it right away, I believe, throws his shoe at the escaping Lil Slugger, nails him, knocks him down, then he just like goes there and like beats the shit out of him and takes him into the police.
He romper stompers him.
And then I'm like, oh no. Lil Slugger's a nerd? Because they interrogate this kid who straight up looks like Lil Slugger, and he's like a D&D F-slur, and he thinks he's like beating the ice demons out of people that they've possessed and whatnot. I'm like, oh no, I hate it when the cool almost murderer is a nerd.
Oh, that's
What?
Huh?
Oh, you just wanted me to say more slurs?
Well,
Later.
how many are we allowed?
7. So use them judiciously.
Fag. Now we got 6.
I'm interested how this will go. Where are so they have the kid, and it's all very disappointing that the cool mysterious attacker is this fucking loser.
Yeah.
So it seems like they have I wrote how long have they kept this kid in custody? Like a week?
Yeah.
Like a while, right?
while.
I'm like, does he
It's a
have
while.
parents?
No?
No.
He's a runaway?
Yeah, so he's just in and at the end of it he's just like in a jail cell.
Yep.
And he gets beaten to death.
Yep.
By a little slugger type. So they're like so there's witnesses for several of the attacks and whatnot. There aren't any witnesses for the initial attack on the lady who created the famous character. And I'm like, oh, tell me other people got attacked for real, but she's faking for attention. That is a vibe I like. And also I think there was mention of a convenient amnesia, which is a fun thing that the ladies do. Yeah, then I wrote, hey, I'm always here for a dead kid, because a lot of the beatings put people in the hospital. Not that many kill them, but a few do.
If you do.
This being one of them.
Yeah.
And I think it's around here. They're kind of putting stuff together, in that like everyone who's been attacked is in some way like under tremendous pressure and like needs escape, basically.
Yeah.
So that's something they've got. There's a great episode with basically a suicide club.
Suicide Club.
That all met online. I'm like, 2004, the golden age of meeting children online, because it's these 3 people who know each other online and are having their first like meetup. One is a youngish guy.
Yeah.
One is Japanese Ben Franklin, and one is a little girl.
Little girl.
Who I'm like, I love this upbeat, suicidal 10-year-old girl. I'm like, she seems like well-adjusted, happy enough, also wants to end her life immediately.
I would like to die, please.
So weird. Yeah, so that was then did you understand the end of the Suicide Club episode, which was where they're I think they've decided not to commit suicide.
Yeah.
And they walk past just some girls taking a picture of themselves.
Wow.
And they're in the picture, and then the girls look at the developed picture and are like shocked at whatever the picture is, and then it closes on a picture of a condom machine. I did not exactly get what was up with that.
Very confused.
I'm like, so because I didn't know if like if they didn't show up in the picture, or what the deal, because there isn't really like any other ghost element to the show. So I'm like, so is Suicide Club already dead or what? And then they end on a shot of a condom machine. I really didn't get it. Then the next one is about just these gossipy bitches in this apartment complex, just each with like grander little slugger stories, basically. Unclear if they're true. There's obviously been more and more attacks happening, but they're just gossipy bitches. And then have I gone past anything you had?
No.
Then as we're moving along, there they go through like the production animation studio that the initial woman worked at, and how they apparently almost every member of the entire staff was systematically killed.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? No one noticed the entire animation studio is dead.
Nope.
I'm like, okay. Yeah, so shit's ramping up. The of the two initial investigating I think some time has passed. The younger of the two has gone full weeb.
Yeah.
He's got like a costume now.
Yeah.
And what's more disappointing is he's right about everything. So I'm like, that's a poor lesson to teach kids.
Yep.
Weebs are right.
Weebs are right.
No, not in my America. And the older of the two cops has a sickly wife who is visited by Lil Slugger.
Lil Slugger.
Who is going to bop her.
Yeah.
And she's like,
ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah,
you're nothing.
Yeah, she's like, fucking,
you're a coward.
Fucking go ahead.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? Hey,
you're not supposed to act like that.
No one's done that. And then for a bit he gets real big and scary.
Yep.
And then she's like, nah, man.
Nah.
She's her entire vibe is miss me with that shit.
Yeah.
She's just like not having it. And then he gets like regular size again. And then just kind of like leaves defeated. Like he doesn't bop her, right?
Nope, doesn't bop her. Nope.
Yeah. So that's the point of which is to just sort of give more clues as to like what the deal with Lil Slugger is. Like he shows up when people feel trapped and gives them sort of an artificial escape by either beating the shit out of them or killing them, which is, I guess, yes, technically escape, but not a great one.
No.
And then also he doesn't respond well to like being challenged.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
I wrote it took 12 episodes, but we finally got a bunny girl and a kitty girl. So young weeb cop gets led to by like in like sort of a mirror reflection or a window reflection of these like anthro girls. I'm like, anime, finally, you're doing something right. To this I get this weird guy who's been like making dolls of all the Lil Slugger victims.
Yeah.
I think he quickly becomes a victim himself.
Yep.
And then the dolls talk to our young cop weeb friend, and they're like, you gotta fucking do something about Lil Slugger. He is becoming a nuisance. And then so I guess Lil Slugger sort of is becoming more and more powerful. Where's our lady in all this? Is she just like hanging out at the hospital or the police station or something? She's just like around.
No, she.
Or where does she go? She's in the hospital a while because she got beaten, unless she was faking for attention.
Yeah,
but I guess she wasn't.
When do we get the reveal of the backstory of the thing? The dog. That's much later?
Well, I'm close to the end now. That's either the second last or last episode. And that's about where
then I guess she's just been hanging out.
I guess she's just hanging out. Because like the police didn't hold, like, she's not a suspect.
She's not a suspect.
They thought she might be for a minute. Like various victims were also considered suspects and whatnot. But so I guess we're around the reveal. So the super popular character she's created, I think its name is Melomi. Which is a little like
Belomi.
A little cute dog
thing
character. And I guess the cop has been doing like that's where he from the doll maker, that's where he got like the last bit of research, because the doll maker is also a computer guy and had like old like records I don't know why the police didn't have it, but
I don't know.
but records from when she was a kid. So there was one incident where she was attacked by a kid with a bat on roller skates.
Yeah.
And another incident where her dog was
Her real dog.
her real actual dog named Melomi, I
Yeah.
believe, was
run over by a truck.
was run over, and she told her dad that that it was the kid with the bat that killed the dog.
Yeah.
So what did I wrote? I think this was the last episode. I'm like, man, they are really building to this puppy getting killed. Like the money shot. The money shot of Paranoia Agent is a dead puppy.
Yep.
So, and around this time, here comes the goo.
Here comes the goo.
Anime loves goo.
They love goo.
They can't get enough. So there's this just like black ooze, like filling up the city.
Yeah.
Basically, like
Filling up the subway stations.
yeah,
And yeah.
and just I guess just like killing people.
I guess. Yeah.
It's at the very least inconveniencing them. So
Is it an allegory for atomic runoff?
we already did the
I know,
Magnificent
but is that
Mushroom.
what it is too?
Get over it. Yeah. So, young weeb cop confronts the woman because he's largely figured it out.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, please accept responsibility for your puppy dying when you were a girl. Even though, like, it's not like she I think she had, like, a menstrual cramp and, like,
Yeah.
let go of the leash for a second.
Yeah.
And it ran into traffic. So,
Also,
like,
sometimes pets die.
sometimes pets die. But yeah, but please at least stop denying what's up about your dead puppy and stop blaming it on a thing that didn't happen, because it's destroying Tokyo. Because I don't know, because she's that crazy.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess if you harness your crazy powers, you can destroy a major.
If you're delusional enough.
Destroy a major metropolitan city.
Yep.
So there's battle. Oh, and I think where it all came together was they eventually talked to the old woman who was there when she got attacked initially, and the woman said nobody attacked her.
Nobody attacked her.
She attacked herself.
Yeah.
And then he went to like her childhood home, and in the shed was the bat.
Yeah.
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 And I think he took the bat, and I think he battled giant scary
scary
little
one.
slugger with the bat, and
Use it like a sword to block the.
yeah, exactly. And I also wrote yet another reason women shouldn't own dogs. Not the number one reason, but a good reason. They will let them run into traffic. But that's not the worst thing women do to dogs.
Yep. I mean, worst or best
Or best.
depends on who you're asking.
It does. So so that's basically it. She eventually finally accepts like the real deal about her dead puppy. And then everything sort of subsides, but like the city is trashed.
Yeah.
Because I think we cut to like 2 or 3 years later.
Yeah.
And they're still like very much rebuilding.
Yes.
Yeah, and they do like a nice callback to the very first scene of the whole series, which is like people like walking down the street on their phones, blah blah blah. But yeah, I very much enjoyed it as a season of anime, which is not a thing I can say about many seasons of anime.
Nope.
So good job, pal. You're one of the good Bryans. In fact, all Bryans are good Bryans.
Yeah. I think the only other note I wrote, I guess just at some point there was a conversation about killing yourself and that to end your suffering. Oh, it was like the the detective and his dying wife or whatever.
Yeah.
And he had said something about she had said something about like you'd be so much better off if I had just died.
Because she's like chronically sick,
chronically ill,
and there was some kind of expensive operation that could have helped her, but it would have crippled them financially, and she like
refused to let him do it.
Yeah, would not let him do it.
Yeah. And he sort of says something about like, like never say those words again.
Yeah.
And she's kind of like taken back by it, but then later there's a conversation about suicide with the I think maybe the suicide. Let's call them the Suicide Squad.
They are some kind of Suicide Squad.
Yeah. And the conversation, I think when they realize that they're not going to kill themselves, is like some... I don't remember who's talking to who, but about...
Might be Ben Franklin talking to a little girl.
Maybe. Japanese Ben Franklin.
Yeah.
About like when you die, it doesn't end your suffering.
Yes.
And I was like, man, that's fucking depressing.
Right?
They're like, your living body,
yeah,
you're so depressed and sad, you don't want to live anymore because you think it will end the pain.
But it doesn't fix it.
But then it doesn't fix your pain.
Yeah, that is wildly depressing because, like, I'm always like, back in my head, I'm like, at the end of the day, I still got suicide.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll always have the backup of suicide.
Yeah, but for suicide to be like a bad backup, that sucks.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. Then you literally have nothing. But which ironically makes me thinking about that makes me want to kill myself more.
Yes.
So I'm going to do the wise thing and go ahead and not think about it.
Oh, and you're gonna go ahead and and do the opposite and live to 104.
That'll show you.
Yeah.
That'll show the haters.
Take that, Suicide.
Take that, Suicide Squad. But not the Suicide Squad. Big James Gunn fan. 2-time All Request screenwriter.
Yep.
With his 2 finest works, of course. Scooby-Doo and Romeo and Juliet. You guys are the weirdest requesters in the world.
Yeah.
And we would have it no other way. Except less anime. Less less non-Satoshi Kon anime, please.
Please.
Hey, if you want to do a Perfect Blue, go nuts.
Yep. Tokyo Godfather, do it.
Mm-hmm. Paprika.
Am
I pronouncing that correctly?
You are.
Good. I'm going to crack this Gatorade. You start talking about Hackers 1995.
Oh, Scott, I don't feel good.
We can't keep cutting each shorter episode even shorter.
What if we do?
We simply mustn't.
Okay. I don't have a lot of notes for the next movie after Hackers, so it's fine.
You don't have a lot after Hackers?
No. For the very next movie after Hackers.
I've got a decent amount for everything, so okay. I think I can get us through this.
Oh,
we can do 3 movies and then have a good snuggle.
Oh, Scott.
What?
I don't feel good.
Really?
Yep, a little bit.
How not good? Like actually end the podcast not good?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, until that, no more drugs. Are you smoking fake drugs? Yeah. You just have an oral fixation.
Yeah. I did pussy fingers.
An Oral Roberts fixation.
Anal Roberts. That's my alma mater.
Anal Hershiser.
That's not bad.
I'll give you that one.
That was not bad.
You know what? I'm going to write it down. I have also decided it's not bad. So, Hackers 1995 is brought to us by one Zimbo Venus / Jimbo Jones, whatever you're calling yourself today, pal. I know your real name because you've sent me PayPal.
Is it Brian?
It's not Brian. It's not that far from Jimbo Jones.
Oh, okay. Kimbo Cones.
Did I say this or did he say this? I said this. Okay. So my first note is I got the internet fairly early, 1996, and this came out a year before that. I can't wait to see what out-of-touch Hollywood producers at the time think the internet is at this point in time. Mm-hmm. I was very intrigued. I had not seen this movie before.
Me neither.
Oh, you hadn't?
No.
Okay.
I was aware of it, but I had not seen it. My first note is hackers were to the 1990s what trans bathrooms are to the 2020s.
Yes.
Like
that is an excellent observation.
Like Congress
I like that a lot.
and Republicans just being so afraid of hacking.
They're going to hack us.
As opposed
in the bathrooms.
In the bathrooms, where now like there's some states that are trying to pass law that it is illegal for a trans like it's the South. It is illegal.
You don't say.
It is illegal for a trans person
to go to the bathroom,
to enter a bathroom of their choice.
Yeah.
That a child is currently in.
Oh wow! How do you?
I don't know.
You know what my question is,
I don't
right?
know how you.
How do you enforce that?
Go to a public washroom.
Well, you have to enforce this. If I'm going to stretch the logic out on this one, to enforce this, you would need bathroom guards who are judging if each person who enters is trans. Unless we start making trans people wear yellow stars.
Oh, interesting.
Which...
How does that help knowing if there's a child in the bathroom?
Well, the guard would keep track of children in the bathroom also.
Oh,
the guard has to do a lot of counting.
It has to be both.
Yeah, no, both. Yeah, yeah. Guard is there, keeps track of children, and if the adults are trans.
So I guess you're not hiring a trans security guard.
They don't make those.
Oh, okay.
They're all in IT.
Fair.
They're all hackers, ironically.
They're all hackers.
There's a reason we transitioned from the hacker panic of the 1990s to the trans panic of the late 2010s through forever, I'm guessing.
Probably.
Think we're going to get over it?
No.
I'm not sure we are either.
No.
Yeah. I think this one might stick around for a while.
Yeah.
Unless
I think
we do something about it. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. You go.
Bold stance.
I'm putting myself on timeout. Your thoughts.
Okay.
Drew, what do we do about the trans question?
No more trans bathroom debates.
I'm sorry. I coughed up something horrible. Keep talking.
Gay male president. What happens first?
What was the first one?
That we stop that trans people using bathrooms perfectly acceptable across board. No one cares.
Oh, gay male president.
Okay. Same
President Pete before we fix the bathrooms.
Same statement about trans bathrooms.
Yeah.
Woman president.
Trans bathrooms. Woman president, never. That's too far.
I don't think that America is ever going to be ready.
No. We will. There will be zero. Trans debate will be settled. It'll be 100% accepted. You will not have a woman president.
I think that the Democrats also realize they can never run a woman candidate.
Yes.
Because they will lose.
Yes.
And no woman Republican is ever going to get the nomination.
No.
Like,
yeah, no, the Dems tried it.
Yep.
And she lost to a mentally deranged man.
Yes. Yeah. A lunatic.
Yeah. But to his credit, very funny.
The best lunatic.
Like
number one.
A politician so funny, he ruined stand-up. Yeah. He was funnier than every stand-up.
Yeah.
He just went out there and crushed every night. Like Bill Burr should be so lucky.
He should. I liked the overhead transition shot from flying over New York into flying inside of a computer.
Yes,
that was very cool.
New York to microchip, big fan.
That was very cool.
I wrote "Come for the hacking, stay for the Felicity Huffman."
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely had a thing later where I asked. Oh yeah, it was later, but the time of it doesn't matter. Was this the first flying through cyberspace animation? Because it became such a cliche as time went on, but like 95 is pretty early for that. I don't know if it's the first, but it's early.
Yeah, I can't,
because like every computery movie for the next 10 years had it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I can't think of one that's earlier.
Yeah.
Lawnmower Man.
Ooh. That's like 92.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might be onto something with a Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, that's the earliest thing I can think of.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good call. Oh, yeah, no, I wrote the same thing as you. Overhead shot of the city transitioned into a motherboard. Pretty fucking cool, I wrote.
It is. I like that. Okay, so we see a kid who's in front of, like, I don't know, Congress, who's hacked into a computer system that shut down part of Wall Street.
Yeah.
And now he's not allowed to be anywhere near a computer.
Banned from computers until he stops being a minor.
Yeah.
Until he's 18.
So now
young Johnny Lee Miller?
Now we get Johnny Lee Miller as an adult, and I like how Johnny Lee Miller is supposed to be an expert hacker.
Yep.
Except he types like he's never actually seen a computer before.
Yeah, it might have been his first time with a keyboard.
Yeah, it was very much one finger poking at a time.
Yeah.
To get what he needed to get done.
Yeah.
And if he's supposed to be so good he can cripple Wall Street, I
he
would
should
imagine
probably be able to touch type.
He knows how to touch type, yeah.
While absolute nonsense is scrolling across the computer screen.
Oh yeah, it's not even
it's
zeros and ones.
No, it's not even the Matrix.
It's just screensavers.
Yeah, it's just a series of like vertically scrolling wingdings. And just
flying toasters.
Yeah, the
fish.
Toasters. Yeah.
Those bubbles that bounce around.
Oh, I love the bubbles.
Yeah, he's not actively hacking anything.
I did like what they said about him at his I guess it was at his like court hearing when he was a kid. And I found him very relatable. I'm like, I also possess a superior intelligence which I use to a destructive and antisocial end. I feel you, Johnny Lee.
That's you.
I felt seen with that. That was nice. We get a white supremacist Limbaugh type with the where he's like hacking a TV station with and it was interesting. The videotape was labeled America First. I'm like, this is as relevant today as '95. I'm like, y'all been doing this shit for a while, huh?
Yeah, we really have.
Yeah. So good on them. What else did I looked up Johnny Lee's filmography. He has had more regular work for the last 25 years than I thought he did.
Yeah.
I thought it was like kind of this and nothing, but he's been on like some successful TV shows which are escaping me. But sure. I maybe he was. Wait, is he the lead on?
Is he Castle?
He's not Castle, but he's something just like Castle.
Oh,
he's Elementary. Yeah,
Elementary.
And
all 9 seasons.
Yeah, and Chinese Girl Watson.
Yeah. China-son.
Yeah.
Got it. First try, best try.
What do we have? Oh. I can't remember what the context was, but also it doesn't matter. When
Mindhunter, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
Even though I haven't seen it.
It's great.
It's a TV show, Scott. I can't watch it. The Crown.
Drew, I can't wait to one day hold you down.
Scott, whatever you're about to say, shut the fuck up.
I can't wait to hold you down and make you watch a bunch of good TV.
Yeah. Not gonna happen.
I'm gonna get you.
Is he the bad guy in season 3 of Dexter?
Oh, he could be.
He's the motivational speaker guy.
Oh, is he?
Whose bros were doing some rapes.
I buy that.
Oh no, that's the Lumen season. That's 5.
Yeah. What's 3? 3's Jimmy Smith.
3's Jimmy Smith's. Yeah. He's
on the Lumen season.
He's Jordan Chase. He's
out.
Yeah, he's the
we don't
motivational speaker guy who Lumen claims that him and his friends like molested her,
and stuck her in a barrel.
Yeah.
That's too bad because we don't recognize the Lumen season of Dexter.
We do not.
On this show. This is
literally from the best season to the worst.
This is an anti-Lumen podcast. If you take one thing away from this podcast, let it be known that we are anti-Lumen.
We are. Wow. I was joking about how many seasons of Elementary there were.
You're probably about right with
154 episodes, 7 seasons.
Yeah, I was going to say 7 or 8 based on that number. Yeah.
That's crazy. I was joking.
No. Drew, if you
I was a jokester.
If you can weasel your way into network TV,
yeah,
you're so fucking set.
Yeah, you really can.
I would love to be on a worthless network TV show. Or, I mean, in a perfect world, a cool network TV show. A Law and Order SVU type.
Nah. Just get on a bad show that's for the Midwest.
Yeah.
And do 200 episodes.
Yeah,
probably make $4 or $5 million.
Yeah, give me an NCIS Los Angeles. I don't give a shit. I'll be LL Cool J.
What about
I'll be on CSI Cyber. I don't give a shit.
Jag Pensacola?
I'll do a Jag spinoff. A Jag off, as it were. Nice. First idea, best idea.
Jag spinoff.
I don't know if there was one. I think regular Jag did 35 seasons.
Yep.
And they're like, no, this can never be touched again. This was perfect. Don't tarnish it.
Jag off. 10 seasons, 227 episodes. That's not even the thing I was thinking of. Is there like another like military one that's got... I can picture it in my head.
And it's not Jag?
It's a military one, I think. It's got the guy with white hair. What am I thinking of?
I mean, Mark Harmon was... Wait, was Mark Harmon Jag? Mark Harmon's NCIS. Who the fuck is Jag?
Maybe I'm thinking of NCIS.
It might just be NCIS. Yeah, that's military. Naval Criminal Investigative Service.
That is exactly what I'm
NCIS,
thinking.
yeah.
of.
Also a lot of episodes.
20 seasons.
Holy shit.
453 episodes.
Oh my god.
How many has anybody been?
I don't think I've ever seen an episode of NCIS. I do know that it has the, speaking of hackers, it's got like the quintessential hacker lady, even though she's like well into her 40s.
Yes.
And dressing like a Japanese 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Very funny. Big fan of her.
She's Polly Perrette.
That's my girl.
She's... Oh, surprisingly, they don't put her birthday on here.
Oh, secret age?
They don't want everyone to know.
She's 65 years old.
She was born in 1969. Nice.
Yeah, so she's in her 30s into 40s.
Yep.
During the show. Yeah.
So it was on for, what did I say, 453 episodes?
That's so many episodes.
Even Mark Harmon wasn't on every episode.
What was he so busy doing?
He missed like almost 20 episodes.
Maybe he was in jail and writing notes pretending he had mono.
Very possible. How about Wilmer Valderrama? He's on that.
Fez was in NCIS?
Towards the end, too.
Good for him.
To currently. So
wait, I'm sorry, is it still on?
Yeah, it's still on.
Oh my god. So their hacker girl is 44 now?
Yeah.
Love it.
Let's see when the most recent episode aired. Scott, what if I told you there are episodes
This
airing
week.
right now?
Oh my fucking god.
Season 20 has up to now 2 more episodes in the season.
I can't believe NCIS is still on.
Yeah.
That is shocking news. I'm reeling right now.
No more Mark Harmon though.
Sad. I believe Mark Harmon was one
Dead?
year, and don't ask me which, was People Magazine's Sexiest Man of the Year.
That's disgusting.
I think he had a real hot year one year. Or
In the like 80s, right?
Yeah. Maybe 90s, depending. Probably 80s, though.
19... Wow, the year I was born, 1986.
When you were born, there was nobody on God's green earth hotter than Mark Harmon.
Yep, he was also on the cover of Playgirl.
Nice. That's for girls.
Yep.
You can tell by the name.
Only ladies look at Playgirl.
Yep. Ladies love porn magazines, which was originally LL Cool J's name, who was also on an NCIS, tied it together.
There you go. Okay, keep talking.
When did we as a society decide or realize that Harakiri is not pronounced Harry-Carry? Because they definitely called it Harry-Carry in this movie.
They did. 2012.
Oh, the year.
The year of the Lord, 2012. Yeah.
It's in there. But that's always very fun, because it's not spelled even close
No.
to Harry-Carry.
No.
It is spelled neither Harry nor Carrie.
Correct.
I don't know how we got there. Do you want to go pee?
I gotta go pee.
You can go pee.
Don't skip too far ahead. I've got mean things to say.
Are any of them about Angelina Jolie's haircut?
They are.
Okay.
You may speak about it.
I'll get us warmed up on Angelina Jolie's haircut. Not the haircut I was expecting on Ms. Jolie, product of John Voight's balls. Really caught me off guard. And then I remembered, oh yeah, it is 1995. I guess we're doing this bullshit. We also get weird stoner punk mentally deficient Matthew Lillard at the same time, and with what did he have, dreads? Or he had like weird long hair, and Angelina had weird short hair. I'm like, literally Matthew Lillard and Angelina Jolie should, if they traded hair, both would look better. Matthew Lillard should also take a second pass at pronouncing the word asphyxiated, because he definitely pronounced it wrong in the movie, and I don't think it was a character choice, and they definitely kept it in the movie because probably no one on set at the time or in editing afterwards was smart enough to know that it's asphyxiated and not asphyxiated, which he said maybe more than once. I can't remember, but that was... Drew somehow locked himself out of his room. Did you catch everything I said?
Nope, I heard Matthew Lillard.
I said that Lillard and Angelina Jolie should trade hair, and literally both would look better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of both of their normal hairs, sort of.
No, hers is really short.
Yeah, for him, though, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, I wrote... God... Angie is gorgeous, despite having the worst haircut I've ever seen.
Yeah, accurate, yeah.
Because
Because she's like, I don't know, I guess people age. She's like kind of weird looking now.
she's okay looking.
But you forget she was bombshell hot.
Well, also, don't forget, she had to have her tits cut off. So...
Boo.
I know. I wrote, is everyone trans? Because, like, Matthew Lillard, the Latino guy, her...
Oh, yeah, because there's like a real gay Latino
but I don't
guy.
think... He doesn't... He acts gay, but he also kind of acts butch.
Yeah.
So, like, I can't tell if he's gay or he's just... Because everybody in this movie...
He's pre-trans.
Dresses insane.
Oh, yeah.
Like, nobody dressed like that in the 90s.
I don't think so. Maybe the rave scene to a degree. But,
sure.
But that's it.
But they don't seem like ravers.
No, and like not wearing it to school.
Yeah.
I think you'd get in trouble for dressing like this at school.
You would. I also wrote the note. I don't know if we're probably in that area where I don't remember who's talking to who, but it's about Johnny Lee Miller, where he's like, oh, it's when they're at the like arcade and they're doing the like game, and he goes up to her and she's like got the best score, and he goes like, let me give it a try.
And he smokes her ass.
And he smokes her, but they're having like a conversation, and then her boyfriend comes over and goes, hey, is this kid bothering you?
Yeah.
And I went, oh, you mean the 34-year-old playing
an
a high
18-year-old?
schooler? He's the one?
Yep. That's the one.
Because, like, he does not look like a teenager at all.
I had to keep reminding myself that these characters are in high school.
Yeah. Like, even she looks a little too old.
Yeah.
But, like, he
Not
looks
as old as him,
like
but...
he's mid-30s.
Oh,
He's got a 5 o'clock shadow that, like, most teenagers don't have.
I did, because I had very high T. And continue to.
I mean, also, you've got very blonde hair.
I get away with it.
Even if you did grow it, it, like, wouldn't be as prominent as him.
When it comes to facial hair, I am a grower, not a shower.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too. In lots of aspects of my life.
Yeah.
Then he
So Angelina, I don't remember if there's a reason or if they're just nasty people, but she and Johnny Lee just decide they hate each other.
Right, yeah.
And he, what's interesting, and I don't think what happened now, and I'm even surprised it happened then, is that, like, the guy with all the guy versus girl jabs, the guy kind of gets the best of most of the interactions, which you certainly wouldn't see now, and even was rare then. Like normally the girl's gonna one up the guy.
Yep.
I liked the idea. I'm like, I really hope he never makes friends with her and is just mean to her the entire movie. I'm like, that would be interesting. Like, it's the cliche for them to, like, clearly they're gonna get romantically involved at the end, but it'd be awesome if they didn't and he was just always mean to her.
That would be great.
Oh yeah, I guess it started because like they hazed the new kid by telling him there was a pool on the roof of the school, and then he went to
which they had done to all of the nerds, the nerdy new kids.
Yeah, and then he went to the roof, and turns out there was no pool, and they locked him on the roof.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Well, fuck this bitch forever."
Yep.
Also, I don't blame him. I thought it was very interesting. There was a mention of computers stealing your information. In 1995.
Yeah.
Like Al Gore had just invented the internet.
Yeah.
And they're already on it. I'm like, wow, I did not think that was a concern in the mid-90s. Like you didn't hear much about stealing information until well into Facebook. Like early 2010s Facebook.
Yeah.
That's the first time like that really came up and was a concern. So yeah, I thought that was wild. I'm like, wow, this has been a thing since the get-go. What else did I have? The Penn Jillette cameo.
I just wrote in all caps, Penn?
Me too. That's exactly what I did.
Yep.
Yeah, he works at Bad Guy Company, run by
Fisher Cat Stevens.
Oscar winner Fisher Stevens.
Fisher Cat Stevens.
Director of The Cove.
The Cove.
And maybe also...
What a depressing fucking movie.
Maybe also a documentary short as well. But,
that sounds all right.
I love that, I love that character actor Fisher Stevens has a directing Oscar. Very cool.
He's in something else that we're going to watch too, isn't he? He
is in Short Circuit, where he does not play a white guy. Spoiler, check it out. It's going to be a fun talk.
Well, he does a lot of cool things in this movie, including skateboarding into scenes.
He travels exclusively by skateboard.
Yeah.
Also, he's 50 years old.
He is 50 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, pretty funny.
But he's a hacker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's one thing I know. It's you can teach people over the age of 40 how to use computers.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I was hit back to back right after this with two HBO characters I love. We first get Bunk from The Wire as a cop. I think he only plays cops. I'm like, fuck, I just want to watch The Wire now. And then immediately, like, Fisher Stevens' number 2 is Lorraine Bracco, Melfi from The Sopranos. I'm like, fuck, I just want to watch The Sopranos now.
I've always found her very attractive.
Yep, I like her.
Even though, like, traditionally not always attractive. Mm-hmm. But she's a person, like, I see her and I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
You could get this.
No, I agree. She can very much so get it.
Yeah.
Man, I don't remember the context of this note, but it is funny to me. Yes, I would like some Jolt Cola, please. You two Bo and Yangs.
Yes, I miss Jolt.
Oh yeah,
that was my next note.
Yeah, I guess they were like two kind of gay Chinese guys, and Jolt was involved.
They like host a TV show for hackers.
Oh yes, those are the Bo and Yangs.
Yeah, two gay Asian guys talking about hacking.
Yeah,
yeah, and then they end up using their assistants later.
Yeah. But, yeah, man, I miss Jolt.
Yep.
I miss Jolt. I miss Jolt Blue. And I miss a thing I only had once and...
Or made it up in your head.
Or made it up in my head, because I never saw it before, and enough time has passed that it just could be a thing I imagined. But at the Sheetz... Shout out to Sheetz. In Elyria, Ohio.
Okay.
In the year...
Elysium, Ohio, gotcha.
Not Elysium.
Oh.
In the year 2010, at one of the first ever Beyond Wrestling tapings, I went to Sheetz and I got a passion fruit Jolt in one of the big cans with the twist off metal cap thing. And man, I wonder if it was real. Let's see what the internet says. Drew, your findings.
The internet says Jolt passion fruit
Yes.
drink review. So it's a real thing. You did not imagine it. It's a black bottle with a yellow top.
Yep. It was, Drew, it was fabulous.
Oh, fantabulous, you say.
It was one of the best things I have ever drunk. And I am heartbroken that I only got it once. It's literally our fear. It's why we're not drinking the Baron Beaver creamsicle.
Yep.
Because what if we love it and can never have it again? That's what happened with Passion Fruit Jolt.
So you can still buy Jolt.
Oh, that's
at
shocking.
Dollar General,
Nice.
Casey's General Store,
All businesses near to us.
or Amazon.com. But
Okay.
it's only the cola, I think.
I can't believe, I wouldn't imagine they're doing a wide array of flavors anymore.
You cannot buy Jolt Passion Fruit. I've got bad news, bears.
No, I think it existed for 3 months.
Well, at least we know it was real and you didn't make it up in your head.
That's nice. That's actually nice because it very much could have gone either way. So Fisher Stevens like head of security. Well,
Head of hacker security.
he's head of hacker security for something. I don't know if it's for this company or the whole internet. I couldn't really tell.
Yeah, that's true. That's kind of hard.
I very much dug the 1995 VR game they showed that he was playing.
Yep.
That was
But they didn't show what he was playing. They just showed him playing it.
yeah.
He was just like punching air.
Yeah. And like, did that exist?
Yeah,
Like,
maybe.
There was
Maybe.
all this virtual reality talk in the late 90s, early 2000s, but was it actually in practice? Like there was Virtual Boy, which gave people seizures.
Yeah.
And was there anything else that was and like an actual like VR games like we have now? There weren't, I don't think.
I don't think so.
But like everyone decided,
But I think the concept existed.
I guess, and like everyone decided exactly what the VR helmet looked like because that was like it's this forever.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wrote, damn, I haven't heard Pentium in a while. No one's talking about Intel Pentium 5 processors
No,
anymore.
but there used to be commercials for it all the time.
Absolutely. What else?
I wrote that there was a gorgeous shot of the towers.
Yes, beautiful shot of the towers.
Beautiful aerial shot of the twins. Speaking of twins, Angie's tits are phenomenal.
Criminal that they were removed.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Angie's tits.
But she shows them for 2 seconds.
yeah,
He hallucinates after the internet police have come.
yeah. Do not come.
And he hallucinates her coming to get him. Then they make out on the bed, and then the police come and arrest him, and then he wakes up. But for 2 seconds, she opens her shirt to like jump on him, and you just get like a nice view.
Yeah.
But it's like, imagine showing your boobs in Hackers.
Yeah.
And like that being like the thing you did.
Rules are rules.
It's so weird.
yeah.
Like, there's so many people like that who have shown their boobs in movies that, like, no one saw the movie,
Yeah.
and the only reason it would get looked up now is because Mr. Skin tells you that she shows her boobs at 48 minutes and 9 seconds for 15 seconds.
I wonder what
You get
happened.
full frontal and side.
I wonder what happened at 48 minutes and 9 seconds into this podcast. Someone go back and check
And tell us.
and tell us. We're not going to. I'm pretty sure there wasn't a female hacker until like 2017.
Yep. Except for she's the best.
She is the best. She's great at their job. I guess they fuck with Bunk, the cop, and like I guess they like place an ad at his name or something for I don't know if it's some kind of party or meetup, but the quote I wrote down was "Leather, lace, and water sports. Transvestites welcome."
Well, yeah,
Nice.
transvestites. I wrote that was the ad that they put for in the newspaper.
Yeah.
with his phone number.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was good stuff. A lot of both Nikon cameras and people named Nikon
Yeah.
in this movie. I love that they doubled up on the sponsorship. Oh yeah, and there was like a weird, I can't, like, they literally did it more than once. It's a very weird thing to do more than once. I wrote, is that the second time someone has had a dream about getting arrested and then wakes up and gets arrested? Mm-hmm. That was so weird.
Yep.
Was pre-trans guy, was his name Freak?
Yeah.
Because I wrote, "Oh, freak with a PH, you are going to get so raped in jail."
Scott.
You can't rape a bottom. We have that is established. That is canon.
Canon.
You're right.
And science. I'm a scientist.
They couldn't help themselves with a bunch of math equations flying around scene because
Yep.
how could you not? And Fisher's keyboard.
Yep.
Nonsense. It's just stickers. His entire, like, there weren't letters, numbers, spacebar, anything. It was just stickers.
It's about the feel.
It's all feel.
It's not like you're going like, where's the N? Bam. You just go like, here's the N, here's the I, here's two G's.
Okay.
But you don't think Fisher's never typed out the N word?
I think Fisher's typed out the
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Who among us? Let he who has never typed out the N-word cast the first stone.
Well, that's not going to be us.
Nope.
I very infamously sent it to you at the exact time it needed to be sent to you.
At a time a border guard read it. That was good. Have you fully lost your phone?
Yeah, I don't know what to do with it.
There, I think it's when Johnny Lee is in it, but I wrote, I bet they thought this spinning phone booth shot was so cool.
Yeah, for sure.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. Nothing about this movie was cool.
No, but God bless him. So yeah, the deal. Fisher's trying to like scam the company out of a bunch of money, and Dr. Melfi is also there.
Yeah, he's implanted a worm in the computer system that essentially does the same thing that David Herman does in Office Space,
which is the
except for it works correctly.
Which is the thing that Richard Pryor does in Superman 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a classic. A little skim off the top move.
Noted top
Richard Pryor. Putting
who could be raped.
You could rape Richard Pryor, but you wouldn't dare.
No, I don't think I would have the balls to try and rape Richard Pryor. He would set his
hair on fire in protest.
And then he would fuck a fat old man.
I
guess he wasn't as
all
fat
the way fat. Yeah. Although I guess he was the Godfather by that point.
Yeah, he was chunky.
Yeah, that's an interesting. I don't like thinking about that coupling.
Why?
Well, in a way, I can't. I love thinking about it.
Yeah.
And another way, like I can't.
Just close your eyes and visualize it. It's very funny.
It's very funny, but like I can't like it doesn't like mathematically add up.
I just imagine Brando laying on his side with a pillow under his head.
Oh, I love it.
Near the edge of the bed because he's so lazy.
Yeah,
and Pryor has to stand up next to the bed, right at head level, so that Brando doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah,
that's what I envision.
Does Brando fall asleep?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I like it. So they're the kids are trying to. And I guess it's going to make it look like the kids are guilty or whatever. And so they're trying to counteract it with their own virus. And I can't remember exactly what the deal was, but at a point, the virus said help me. Like the virus briefly became self-aware.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I like that the virus was going to tip over oil tankers.
Yeah,
That was the big payoff.
very strange.
I guess if they're too busy worrying about the pollution in the ocean, they're
Then
not going to worry about who
they won't
hacked
notice
the
us
system.
stealing all their money.
I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the premise, and yeah. So the kids do their job, and it looks like Fisher got away. I think they got Melfi right away.
Yeah.
And Fisher is on a plane to Tokyo in the air.
Yeah.
It has departed.
Yeah.
We are over the United States, if not over the Pacific. Who knows how far into the flight we are. And then they arrest him.
Yeah. They got him.
So they
climbed onto the plane.
If they arrested him on the plane,
yeah.
the plane didn't need to take off.
Correct.
That's putting.
So now you have to ride the plane all the way to Tokyo.
Yes, and then
get
the way back
on a plane and immediately fly back home.
Look, air marshals or whoever it was. Yeah. I appreciate the theatrics, but I don't think it's worth it.
Nope. Could have stopped him at the gate.
Oh yeah, and then Johnny and Angelina do find a rooftop pool and fuck in it. But Johnny seems like he's having a real hard time swimming.
Yeah.
Drew, analysis?
Correct. He lied about being able to swim.
Yeah.
I didn't lie about being able to swim.
No,
I straight up
you were
told
very
you
upfront
I can't swim
about not being able to swim. But I wondered if, much like when you were young Johnny was using his superior intelligence to a destructive and antisocial end, and I felt seen. If you felt seen when you saw someone struggling in a pool.
No,
you didn't.
I don't associate with
it. Good representation.
No,
sad
because he was trying still.
You know what?
If you can't swim, you just
give
commit
up
to it. You just give up. I'm going to drown. All right.
You
had a good run.
You let yourself drift into the arms of Poseidon.
I did. Namor.
The Tenant, 1976, brought to you by Tommy. What do you think?
Oh, I had one last note that's not important at all.
Hit me with the note.
When the first kid got arrested for hacking, and he was arrested for, what was it, like 3 lifetimes?
Yeah.
His mom gave up real quick on him being, she was like, nah, it's fine, go hang out with your friends. You just had the entire, CIA here arresting you, tearing apart your bedroom, dragging you out of the shower bare ass naked.
Yep.
You're a child, by the way. They even showed his butt. Why?
And penis.
He's a child. And his mom's just kind of like, maybe I'm being too harsh.
Yeah.
Boys are boys. He needs to hang out with his friends.
Yeah, she came around.
She just lets him go.
It was real boys being boys.
Yeah. 10 ants.
I made a note to myself to read the poster for it on IMDb.
Oh, I need to get my phone so I can read you off the very funny Letterboxd review that I did. Unless you want to read it in my voice.
I could do that. So here is... that's why I made a note. How did you lose your phone so badly?
Well, I probably didn't bring it back in when we got cake.
Oh, could be a kitchen phone. So, so there's a picture of sort of a mirror, a gilded mirror with Roman looking like a bit of a creep in it, and he appears to have at least one painted fingernail. Drew's now checking the bathroom. Drew might have flushed his phone. I wonder if it just fell folds of the chair.
Yeah, maybe.
Go deep in the chair. Have a look. All the way in your butt. Don't get your hand out of your asshole. This is a family podcast.
Call my phone.
Make it.
I seriously don't know where I would have put it.
Let's call Drew's phone. Call. Let's see.
Good thing it's on vibrate.
You'd probably hear the vibes if they were in here. Not hearing much. This is something. Anything? anywhere. What a disaster. Off the rails. Right, folks? Who's with me? Who's against me? Oh, maybe it's in your car. I want to know where I stand. You want to pause and check the car? I don't know. We'll be right back, folks, but you won't even know. Now, but are we back?
No, I didn't click anything. It's fine.
I feel like you did.
You can just say whatever things you were going to normally say.
You can just say all the things you always say off pod. We're back. Drew found his phone. It was hiding under the container of donuts he ate.
Yeah. I'm a little too high for this.
Maybe stop. Get it out of your mouth. Stop miming.
Well, no, because miming would be like, this is like faking. This is faking for attention.
Yeah, it is.
Should I push the button?
Stop it. Get help. You're a mess.
I'm a weed guy now.
You are undeniably
okay.
a weed guy.
Where did we?
So I was going to read the poster,
right.
because the ending of the poster is perfect. Amazing in hindsight.
Well, yeah.
Roman Polanski's Chinatown exposed the dark side of corruption. His Repulsion explored a warped mind. His Rosemary's Baby delved into the occult. Now, Roman Polanski's The Tenant, something altogether new, altogether chilling. No one does it to you like Roman Polanski.
It's beautiful.
Perfect.
It is beautiful.
Did I hear a talk of a Letterboxd review?
Yeah, it's got spoilers though, so maybe I should wait.
Do it at the end? Or never do it?
Yeah, I guess.
I like that there is someone in this movie credited simply as Rufus.
Yeah, Rufus.
One name.
Oh, Rufus.
My second note on the opening credits. I was all over this thing. So the credit said Shelley Winters.
Yeah.
But my brain...
Oh, boy. Diego Sanchez.
My brain registered Shelley Berman. So imagine my surprise when the concierge was a big fat lady and not Larry's dad from Curb Your Enthusiasm. And then, like, right off the bat, Roman Polanski really is a creep. I'm pretty sure in this movie, everyone is supposed to be a creep except him.
Yeah.
But he's a creep.
But he comes across as a creep still.
Yeah, he really does. So he's
just a chuckle factory.
He's in need of an apartment and finds this place, and they're real weird about like letting him have it.
Yep.
Even though it's a vacant apartment.
And then they also openly state we need to fill it because it's vacant.
Yeah.
But then they're like, not you, but maybe you.
Yeah. Like, do they not want him to have the apartment because they know he's a rapist?
I mean, yes, probably. They know he's going to do some stuff.
I thought your answer was going to be, what did he even do?
Well, that's going to come later, don't worry.
Okay.
That's part of the review.
Good. I was a little confused because this takes place in France.
Yes.
And
everyone's speaking in English.
And
everyone talking is definitely speaking English.
Yeah, and they're just like...
And not dubbed over in English. That's sarcasm, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Every other actor, except for like one, is speaking French and is dubbed over in English.
Yeah. So, that was interesting.
Yep, it was. And dumb. Just do it in French. Who are you trying to sell this to? America?
So the next thing I have is where why does he end up at the hospital? Oh, because he's investigating the previous tenant. The previous tenant fell or jumped
or
out the window.
yeah,
And that's why it's vacant.
ended up out of the building. That's all that's confirmed.
Yeah, so he like tracks her down at the hospital. She's in like she's fully bandaged. She's the mummy.
The nurse said up until yesterday she was in a coma. Don't try and speak to her.
Yeah, and they abide.
Yeah, they definitely abide by that.
So
he brings a bunch of citrus like a cool guy.
Yeah, and he immediately speaks to her.
Yep.
And then also her friend is there, and her friend tries to talk to her, and she looks at her like she doesn't recognize her, and then emits a blood-curdling scream.
Yeah.
And then the friend took this personally, and I'm like, hey, maybe your friend didn't recognize you because she was in excruciating pain and not because she was being rude, you narcissistic whore.
To use the words of one mean Mark Calloway.
Sure.
Motherfucker, not everything's about you.
Very, very true and very applicable in this situation.
I fell out of a fucking window and was in a coma for weeks.
You look like you didn't recognize me.
And that's all you care about, you bitch.
Yeah. So I don't care for her. So they let Roman have the place.
Yep.
With
very strict rules. Do not make noise at night. Do not have people over.
Don't bring over any of your disgusting whore friends.
Do not live the bachelor life.
Yeah, and Roman's like, it's cool. I'm just a quiet creep.
I'm just chill. I'm quiet.
Yeah. I ain't gonna
I'm gonna be mostly hanging out around elementary schools, so you won't have to worry about me being home.
There was a fun line which ended up being more prescient than I thought at the beginning of the movie, where I think he's just at like a bar during the day with his friends from work, yeah. And one says, oh no, I think this was at the because he had a housewarming party.
Yes.
And
that first night he was there, he had a housewarming party with all of his work friends.
Shouldn't have done it.
Yeah,
it caused a problem. But one of his friends, that's where it came up. Because I think some of the women at the party, interesting. Freudian. You shouldn't have showed me that.
Me tard, you tard. Third word that ends in it. You know what I'm saying.
I think a couple of the women there were talking about feminism, and then one of the guys says, "Have you looked at those women's lib militants? It's enough to turn you queer."
Yeah.
I'm like, funny line at face value. Funnier line as the movie goes on.
Yep. Yep.
And it was never really paid off, but there was like a running thing with having shaving cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just a choice.
Yep.
I guess. I honestly kind of dig the apartment's vibe, minus the shared bathroom.
Shared bathroom's a big problem.
And
I've had to do that before.
And lack of elevator.
Yeah.
It's just stairs. But otherwise it looks cool.
Looks very cool. Yeah.
I'm like, I would take this apartment, but again, very much minus the shared bathroom. That is something of a deal breaker.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Although the apartment I lived in that had shared bathrooms per floor, the bathrooms were always really clean.
Okay.
So it wasn't a big issue. I didn't go in there and see a lot of like blood marks or poop stains, or the only cum stains were
yours.
Mine.
Yeah.
So
that's okay. The and then and things start get just progressively like more unsettling and creepy, and
well, he notices that
people just
at nighttime there's people that stand across the sort of foyer courtyard thing
in the shared
bathrooms and just stand there and stare.
Yeah, and he's telling his friends this, and he's like, people just stand in the bathroom across the way for hours. And the friend, like, without missing a beat, immediately goes, oh, there's probably beating off. I'm like, really? For hours?
No.
They're edging in the shared bathroom.
That's sometimes you.
That's actually kind of, now that I say it out loud, kind of a cool power move. I like it, while staring at Roman Polanski.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now that I've put the whole thing together, that makes perfect sense. They probably were just beating up.
Probably.
He meets up with a guy who is kind of in love with the old tenant, the woman who was in track and is now dead. She died shortly after.
Passed away.
And he's like, hey, silver lining, I get to keep the apartment. And yeah, so he meets up with this with a guy, and so I liked when the guy who was too pussy to ask out the dead girl said Roman saved his life, which maybe he did metaphorically but not physically, and then Roman immediately actually saves his life.
Yeah.
Where they're standing at the top of a subway stairs to a subway, and he's drunk and just about almost legitimately falls down the stairs. Yeah, I love that he completely overstated it and then he actually saved him.
Yeah.
And another kind of running motif was like Egyptian shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if because like that, I think that's what she studied, and that's how she and the guy and the pussy guy in love with her connected was through like that academia.
Yeah.
And then at one point late in the movie when he goes in the scary bathroom, there's like legit like hieroglyphics like all
carved into the walls,
like all over the wall. And I guess it was just to add like a weird extra element to it.
Yeah,
I guess. So that was good. And yeah, this is gaslighting the movie.
That is the start of my review.
Okay.
I love a long, slow burn gaslighting.
Yeah.
I'm very good at doing that myself.
Have you ever successfully gaslit someone into becoming trans?
Not yet, but there's time.
Don't rule it out.
And his name is a girl's name.
Scott.
Yeah?
Yeah, so so they're doing all this weird, like there's a cafe he goes to like most days, and he has a brand of cigarettes he likes, and they never have them in. And they're like,
here, have this girlier one.
Do you want some Marlboros? That's what the old tenant liked. And for a while he always says no, and moves on. But then one day he was like, he was at his wit's end, and he's like, yeah, fine, give me the Marlboro. I'm like, god damn it, you fuckers made him a Marlboro man. So sad. But he held out for so long for his fancier French cigarettes.
Yeah.
And then
now he's just American
They
swine.
just beat him down and beat him down and beat him down. His apartment gets like robbed and trashed,
ransacked. Yeah.
And that actually some fabulous gaslighting at this point. They're like, no, don't go to the police when you get robbed, or you'll somehow get in trouble.
Yeah, they'll think you did it.
Yeah, and he buys that.
Yep.
Who am I talking about here? Who does this guy... Well, I'll read what I wrote. Who does this guy dude remind me of? Young John Cusack and Dylan Moran. Who would I be speaking of?
Couldn't tell you.
Must be just some younger guy in the movie. But yeah, don't know who. Wish I did. Yeah, and then so Roman's being like horrendously gaslit, but also like I feel like he could have dealt with it better, because I definitely wrote at a point, now you're just faking for attention, Roman.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to let them get to you this way. Then because like there's a bunch of her stuff still in the apartment, like clothes and like a vanity with makeup and stuff. So he's like, well, I've had a day. I think I'll be...
How can I relax and be peaceful?
I think I'll be a fancy girl tonight.
Yeah.
So he fancies up.
He really fancies up.
We're talking dress, wig, makeup, heels.
Heels.
The works.
Everything.
He looks beautiful.
He doesn't look bad.
Roman Polanski should have been a woman, is what I'm saying.
But then would he do bad stuff?
He'd have done it to a boy, and nobody would have been mad.
Yeah.
What do you think about
that's
that?
Fair.
All of this could have been avoided.
Yep.
All of this Polanski unpleasantness. What was I wrote, let me just scrape up a little bit of that, and then in brackets, vomit/shit ? Maybe it was. I don't know if it was the apartment trashing or if it was something else. Somewhere
that note means nothing to me.
Yeah. And then it's already sort of been established, but I wrote, I'll show them by becoming trans, like as some sort of weird gotcha to the people gaslighting him. So the deal in theory is sort of that they're gaslighting him into being the previous woman tenant, and then to also jump out of the window.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the the circle of life, I guess. Now this is something I wish I had context for. That's the least upsetting thing Roman Polanski has ever done to a child. What was the child interaction?
I don't know if specifically what you're talking about. Doesn't he shove a kid?
Yeah, he does shove a kid. Yeah, that was it. Then he started getting weird and desperate. He goes like asking around where to buy a gun. And I'm like...
And they're like, this is France. We don't have guns.
Yes, but I feel like he asked the right person and got the wrong response.
Right.
He asked the guy in a Stars and Stripes tie.
Yep. USA.
And I'm like, really? That guy doesn't want Roman to buy a gun? That's bullshit.
That's true.
I'm putting that in goofs on IMDb. Then he just sort of gives up, and he's just like, just let me be trans in my apartment in peace.
Yeah.
And they won't even
let him.
They just keep at him.
There was a couple times earlier on before the trans stuff where should I say it like that? The trans stuff where
like, we've all dealt with our share of trans stuff.
Yeah. Where they were gaslighting him by saying like there was a complaint made about you because you were making so much noise in your apartment last night, and he's like, no, I wasn't.
No, I wasn't.
What are you talking about? And they're like, everybody could hear it. Like, and then the landlord guy is like, you woke my wife up and she couldn't fall back asleep all night.
You're in thin fucking ice.
And he's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And then he spends the rest of the time like actively trying to be as quiet as he can.
Yeah, and still
getting gaslit
yeah.
for it. Yeah.
And then they, I guess they sort of like present him with a false ally. Like the woman from downstairs comes up to see him, and she's like, they're yelling at me about the noise, and I'm not making any noise, and they're all gonna sign a petition to get me kicked out, and then Polanski doesn't sign the petition. Then everyone gets mad at him.
Yeah.
And but she was like was she in theory in on it with them also, and just to like give him like a potential ally that then does nothing for him.
Yeah.
So this is I wrote like, this is kind of Rosemary's Baby again,
A little bit.
in that like in theory, like sort of the reveal, and so they gaslight him enough to jump out the fucking window.
Yep.
And he jumps out the window. I write, do a flip. He does not. Lame.
Coward.
Survives.
Yeah.
And then then jumps out the window again.
Yep.
Fun. And I wrote, do a flip this time. Because sort of the deal is, and it's unclear if everything he's seeing is real, because he sees like scary stuff in the bathroom sometimes, and then he sees like sort of everyone in the courtyard like gathering, and it looks very satanic.
Yeah, or like demonic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't know if the deal is like, that's like this entire apartment minus this entire building minus that apartment are all like this satanic cult or whatever, who each person who rents that apartment, they no, I guess I was gonna say if they're a girl, they get to stay a girl, but I'm pretty sure they make they just get guys and trans them, and make them kill themselves and then rinse and repeat.
This goes into our list of forced trans movies.
Yep, put it on the list along with
put it on a tab.
I was gonna say The Operation, but that's not right. The Assignment.
The Assignment, and
should have been called The
also
Operation.
The Skin I Live In,
And of course, The Skin I Live In,
and Predestination.
Yep,
which you haven't seen yet.
Yeah. So and then it ends with he survives the second jump too, because he's a goddamn trooper.
Yep.
And he is, and also over the course of the movie, he is to some degree made friends with the woman who went to see her.
Yeah.
Her friend, the old tenant, in the hospital. So now Roman is in the same hospital. He's the mummy now.
He's the mummy.
Friend, that female friend comes to see him again. And then Roman Polanski,
and then he
comes in as well to visit this old tenant who was Roman Polanski. And it's the exact same scene again, and it ends on the scream, right?
Yeah.
Kind of a fun ending.
It was weird.
I
was not expecting it.
It's like The Shining type ending, which is like cool and creepy, but the more you think about it, the more it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it was good stuff. I wrote, I feel like I should watch Repulsion to complete the Apartment trilogy.
Mm-hmm. I also haven't seen it.
Well, look at us.
Pay for it.
Pay for it.
Pay for it, you pigs.
Pay for it, pigs.
Here's my review.
Yes.
I love a long, slow burn gaslighting. I'm very good at doing them myself.
Yep.
I wrote, there were a lot of funny things in this movie. A landlord mentioning the trouble with children to Polanski. Polanski being intimate with a woman his own age. The mother exposing her young daughter's legs to Polanski. Polanski putting his fingers in a hole without asking first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but the funniest part was a hand breaking through a window, getting stabbed with a knife, pulling away, putting a leather glove on, coming back in.
That was sick.
That was really funny.
That was right before the jump.
Yeah.
Like, because people were just, like, attacking the apartment, basically. So he pushes his dresser up against the window.
Yeah.
And, like...
Or she pushes her dresser.
He might be fully she at that point. Yeah. I think he was fancy. Hand smashes through the window, starts grabbing at him.
Yeah.
Stabs the hand with a knife.
Yep.
Hand retreats.
Puts on a safety glove.
Reaches back at you. Yeah, that was
owie, owie, owie.
That was real good stuff. And that's Roman Polanski's The Tenant. He's a good director.
He is a good director.
Look,
and a cool guy.
Say what you will. Say what you will about Roman Polanski, but I think the two undeniable things about him are that he's a good director and a cool guy. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, I would say so.
You want to close strong?
I would love to close Live Strong.
How would you like to close strong?
Would you like to talk about a very cool scenario in which a bunch of really chill, relaxed lacrosse boys, just boys being boys,
Just living their damn lives.
just having a good time?
Let's talk about, inexplicably, a 30 for 30 that neither of us have seen, even though we've both seen a lot of 30 for 30s.
I have every single one downloaded on this computer right now, brag. But I've still probably only seen I've seen all of the ones that involve things I like hockey, basketball, football.
But we like this.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
did
but
we not watch this?
I haven't seen a lot of the one I've seen none of the college ones. Because that stuff has interesting stories, but I never associate those with what I want to watch. I don't know, it's hard to explain.
I get you. I feel you.
I feel you, dog.
I feel you, dog. We watched 30 for 30 Fantastic Lies, 2016, from one Zachary K. A paying member. And a gentleman.
Zach K. Zachary K.
Yeah, for those who don't know, 30 for 30 are a series of sports documentaries produced by ESPN, which is the electronic sports programming network. I have never thought of in my life what ESPN stands for.
Extreme sports playing nude.
A Scoot. Play
Nintendo.
Trying to think. How does it work if you hey Scoot P N-word? Is there a way to do that? We'll workshop it later.
Entertainment and Sports Programming Network.
Close.
Yeah.
I guess entertainment makes more sense than electronic.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do? So this is the story. Maybe you heard about it. Maybe you saw this in the news when it came out. What are we talking? 2010ish. 1987. 1944. Yeah, I think it's 2010. The Duke lacrosse team. Ringing any bells, folks? Where do you stand on Duke lacrosse? Now, obviously, number one sport in the nation. Lacrosse fever.
Sweeping the nation.
Honestly, my first note is: in what universe are the lacrosse players the cool kids? But I guess they are.
I mean,
it's a tough sport. You just don't think. I guess you just don't think about lacrosse at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And also, like, it's funny that lacrosse is like an elitist white person sport.
Yeah.
Considering it is kind of violent.
Yeah.
You think like elitist white sport, you think like tennis.
Yeah.
Or golf.
Or
as this guy stated,
Mandingo fighting.
yeah. Golf, lacrosse is golf culture with an attitude, was how the guy explained lacrosse.
That's such a gay way to explain it, but it's not wrong.
It really is.
I like that a lot. Sorry, that was my second note. My first was like, because I think whoever the first person talking was, I wrote, "Oh, is this lady one of the liars?" Next note, I love old university architecture.
It's nice.
I think
very nice.
As I cross the Rainbow Bridge into old manhood, I'm like
in several months.
I know, years and years from now.
Right.
But I'm appreciating architecture more.
Wow, Grandpa.
I know, right?
It's 8:00. You want to go to bed?
I'm exhausted. But yeah, I like just old. I like old, cool architecture and Art Deco. I love me some 30s shit.
Yeah.
I like an Empire State Building.
You're a Great Gatsby kind of guy.
I kind of am a Great Gatsby kind of guy. I don't know what's happening to me.
I don't know. I don't know.
But that's where we're at.
You're becoming your grandfather.
He fought in World War II.
Very cool.
Guess which side?
The right side?
Yes. No more questions. These Duke lacrosse players really look like Duke lacrosse players.
They do.
This was a well cast documentary. They could not have found better Duke lacrosse players.
Yeah.
And they go into like the not really backstory, but just like the background of the whole thing. Like, Duke is a cool university in that it's an elitist, very white university in the middle of North Carolina, just surrounded by poor white and black people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
One of the guys, one of the talking heads, referred to Duke as the Harvard of the South.
Yes.
And I was like, sure.
I mean, if there has to be a Harvard of the South,
right,
which I would argue there doesn't have to be.
No.
And the South doesn't deserve a Harvard.
No.
Then I guess it could be Duke.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody's thinking like, oh, you're one of the like highest paid, high profile lawyers in New York City. Where did you go to school? Oh, well, I went to Duke.
Yeah. Well, the Harvard of the South is behind Florida State is, of course, the Harvard of the South. I'm more of a Central Florida guy myself. CFU.
UCF.
Pardon me. University of Central Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Harvard of the South is behind 40 universities in the North.
Yeah.
Like every Ivy League, and then a whole bunch more on top of that.
Yeah.
Like NYU, way better than Duke.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of other ones, how about fucking Johns Hopkins?
Johns Hopkins.
I was like, is it the most elitist school in the world?
It's like the number one. It's like the number one med school. Yeah.
And you get to play lacrosse because they're playing lacrosse.
Oh, they're playing Johns Hopkins
against Johns Hopkins
Yeah.
in like the championship game.
Yeah.
That they lose.
Yes.
So not only can you be a doctor, but you can also be a star lacrosse player.
Sick.
That's pretty white elitist.
Oh yeah, that's the dream. I hate the name Johns Hopkins though.
Me too.
Hate it.
Me too.
I know. I refuse to find out where it came from.
I'll look it up right now.
I am just
I'm going to tell you right now. So you can be
actively
mad.
at it.
Wait,
How are we on time? Are we going to be less than 2:50?
shut up.
I'd love to know where we're at. And also what happened at 4809.
We are just at 3 hours.
We're longer than the last one.
Yeah.
We should have done it all in one part.
Maybe. Johns Hopkins is in Maryland, in Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm not an asshole. I know that. Where's the Johns from?
Named after American philanthropist, entrepreneur, and the first benefactor of the Quakers. Johns Hopkins. That's his legal.
His first name is Johns.
Johns.
I kind of assumed it was two people's last names.
Yeah, me too.
A real Hewlett Packard.
Yep. Yep. Dunder Mifflin.
A Dunder Mifflin.
It's Johns Hopkins.
The man's
Lived from
name.
1795 to 1873.
Some fucking Quaker weirdo named Johns.
Yep.
What the fuck? I am furious at this new information. It's worse than I could have imagined.
Do you know what their financial endowment is?
$1 billion? $100 billion?
9.3 billion.
That's good numbers.
Yeah.
That's good university money.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, they make a lot of doctors.
They do.
So, yeah, so them Duke boys are at it again. So they make it to the finals 1 year, lose, and but they're looking even better the next year, and they're gonna take it all. Them Duke boys have a party. They hire some entertainment.
Yep.
I believe, if I'm remembering the story correctly. They hire an exotic dancer.
Exotic dancer, a lady of the evening.
Yeah. And so she shows up.
A bunch of girls show up. It's not just one.
Oh
girl.
yeah, it's several girls. They don't stay for long.
Yeah, they're not there for that long. No.
It doesn't go well, and then the one who was there the longest, I guess, but still not that long, claimed a bunch of them
gang raped her.
Raped the shit out of her.
Yeah.
I believe were her words. As per the police report, she wasn't speaking coherently, consistent with someone who had been attacked, or she was just on drugs.
Possible.
Yeah, that second part was an editorial and not part of the police report. Because shockingly, because this was pretty early in the game, we were doing a hashtag Believe All Women.
Correct. Before we realized that was wrong.
Yeah. Hey, if there's something good to come from Amber Heard,
Yep.
it's she actually did a service to the world.
Yep.
Honestly, in that she made it very clear and very patently obvious that we should not believe all women.
Or
Believe no hashtag believe no women.
Yeah, I like that one better. I very much like that one better.
And then they go into the whole class thing, like poor black woman who has to do, well, I was gonna say has to do sex work. I'm like, in theory she's a stripper, but I think it sort of comes out that she's also
an escort,
a straight up prostitute.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like the economics of the school versus the rest of town and blah blah blah. And and I wrote this documentary was definitely made by a racist. Just look at all these outraged minorities who are going to look so stupid at the end of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is made by this documentary is made by a mean white guy, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
As a mean white guy myself, I get where he's coming from.
I didn't like, or I mean, sorry, I did like
You better have liked. Let's be clear. There is nothing not to like in this
the
documentary.
fact that during most of the police statements that were read, the term "the black girl" was used a lot.
Yeah.
which is pretty funny.
Which, yeah.
She's the victim, and they're calling her the black girl.
Yeah, that's kind of tough.
At one point, there was also a very hard R used to describe her.
Yeah, they said the boys said it.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. But they like the police.
I think they were like.
officer?
I don't think the police officer called her it.
No, but the
I
police
think
officer said
he
it.
definitely said it in describing the events for sure.
Yeah.
Which I think is okay.
We'll see.
Let me try.
We'll see. Here's a question that I stated. What is the appeal to having sex with a stripper?
You don't know. Is it because of that T-Pain song?
I'm in love with a stripper?
She rock and she roll. She climbing the pole. I'm in love with a stripper.
But is it literally just that it's a naked woman, so you're like,
I think
I want to have sex?
She's the nearest naked woman.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's any great deal of glory in fucking one of the loosest people on the planet.
Because, like, any time I've ever gone to a strip club, which is not that often, until we...
Is that something
until we go to the library.
You'll be rectifying in about 1 month's time from now?
Correct.
Okay.
That... It doesn't matter.
Just keeping you on your toes.
It doesn't matter if I'm getting a lap dance from the fattest stripper, or maybe
first of all,
a friend's younger sister.
I was gonna say, first of all, stop your sentence there, because you're only getting a lap dance from the fattest stripper. End of statement.
Yeah.
Or a friend's younger sister. That's true.
Yeah.
Shout out Luke's sister. What's up?
Doxed, fully doxed. Our friend Luke's sister was a stripper.
Yep.
Not sure if still is.
Which you found out before Luke.
Yep.
Yeah.
Found out from noted creep other Andrew.
That's right, folks. There's a creepier Andrew
There's
out
a
there.
creepier Andrew out there. I've never once been like, I wish this would go further.
Yeah.
I'm just sort of like, why did I pay for this?
Yeah.
That's what my thought is.
That is my thought at every
I always
strip club.
go and think I want to have fun by doing it.
Yeah.
And then as it's happening, I'm like,
What's the point of this?
this isn't really like, if I'm just looking, I can just look on the internet.
Yeah, that's
at
the
home.
thing. Like, I'm not a visual learner. I'm a tactile
Yeah.
learner.
I'm a hands-on. I like to
Yeah.
do it. I like to do it with my hands.
Yeah, I got grabby paws.
Me too. I got big poofy paws.
That's true. Look.
I can rob you of if you're carrying around a big old heavy metal key that unlocks a door, I can get that right off you. It's
true.
not a problem. You
don't
won't even feel it.
I don't like to give you a big head, and I don't like I'm always reticent to compliment you because you're
Insufferable.
you're the worst when I give you the slightest morsel. But I will say that proportionally, you do have bigger paws than me.
Do I?
Yeah. No, I mean Snap's got big old bappers.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, they're fucking snowshoes.
Because we only exclusively live in the snow.
Yeah.
I
also live in the snow.
live in the lower marshlands of a Bengal region of India.
How dare you? I cannot believe you would say that on the podcast.
Well, I can't wait for you to be Fisher Stevens.
Fisher Steven plays an Indian.
But yeah, I've just never really been like interested in.
Yeah, I don't really get the point.
Like, every time that we've gone to
maybe pre-internet,
the Paramount,
maybe pre-internet, it makes sense.
maybe, But every time we've gone to the Paramount,
Yeah.
I've always gotten a dance because it's what you do when you go there.
Sure.
And I don't think one time I've been like, man, this has made me so horny
Yeah.
that I have to have sex with
I
a
gotta
stripper.
fuck this girl.
As soon as it's done, I go back to the seat and I'm like, all right, you guys want to leave now?
Yeah. I'm good.
Like, I saw one up close.
Yeah.
It was fine.
I seen one up close. I made it come. What else? what what else am I gonna do?
I
here?
don't think I've ever even been close to making a
I had a pineapple and Red Bull because they don't serve alcohol here.
Ooh, those are good, though.
I mean, it's the correct drink to order at the
yeah.
Paramount.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Yeah.
We should go again.
No.
See what we're working with after
And-
COVID.
Go there instantly. Go. Oh yeah, it's this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to rectify that by going and visiting one Charles Wright.
Yes.
Hopefully he's there. Scott, I'm literally going to get a picture with him. That's all I care about.
100%.
Like, hopefully he's cool. He seems cool.
He seems cool.
He seems very cool.
I think he smokes too much weed to not be cool.
Yeah. We can go.
You
we
can
tell him,
bond over weed.
Dearest Mr. Shango, I'm...
Please.
My father was...
Mr. Shango was my father. Call me Papa.
I just want to go meet him, get a picture, and then be like, well, we're already here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm going to go get a lap dance from a gorgeous black woman, because I assume it's mostly that.
I think they'll have some of them.
Some of them.
Yeah, as I said it, I'm like, there's got to be a better way to word
Yep.
that. I didn't feel good about it.
So moving on.
I feel like a Duke lacrosse player.
Back to Duke Lacrosse.
Yeah.
I don't know what my next note is, but it's very funny.
I'll see if I can contextualize
There
it
was
for
some-
you. Man, I'm dropping vocab at the end of like 6+ hours of pod. I'm dropping reticent. I'm dropping contextualize. I think I'm hitting my stride in hour 6. Let's keep going. Let's do next week's.
Okay.
Drew, fucking imagine
Yeah.
if we recorded next week's right now.
It's only 9 o'clock. We don't have to be up until... Well, we probably have to get up a little early.
I mean,
We do have to leave early.
Yeah. No, the idea of that is making me
know.
physically ill.
Good. Lose your steam.
Hit me. What's
You fucking threw me off, you jerk.
a thing you weren't sure of the context?
I guess there was some discussion on, like, the race battles of the South. Like
I love race battles in the
It's
South.
naturally just like whites versus blacks, cats versus dogs,
Horses eating each other.
And then I said Scots versus vegetables.
Is that I don't is that a Plants versus Zombies reference? Is that like Scots versus vegetables?
I'm implying you eat like shit and you never eat vegetables.
I have a spinach salad most nights.
Well, look at you,
Yeah.
queer.
I can't win with you. First, I'm a pig who doesn't eat his veggies,
Yep.
and now I'm a queer
and now
who
you're a
eats
queer who
too many
eats his
spinach
veggies.
salads.
Make a caprese.
I love a caprese because it's not a salad.
It's not.
It's tomatoes and cheese. It's
tomatoes and cheese,
and it's
yeah.
delicious.
Yeah.
It's the best salad.
No, it's not because it's got tomatoes in it.
I'm not a huge tomato fan, but I like
Cherries.
I like
Grapes.
a tiny tomato and a tiny bocconcini and a little salt, a little pepper, a little olive oil, a little onion, a little basil, and that's, you got a beautiful caprese. It's a nice salad.
I like
Drew eating a salad, eating a salad for mama.
a broccoli salad. That's very
Barf.
good. And then I'm gonna tattoo of it right here.
I hate raw broccoli. I tolerate steamed broccoli, but
You are wrong. Broccoli's delicious.
look, I'm baby. Maybe when I grow up, I'll like broccoli, or I don't know. Like,
What if I force it on you now?
I was gonna say, I think broccoli is a lot like anal sex, in that if it's forced on you as a child, you won't enjoy it as an adult.
Let's find out, baby.
Are you gonna?
I'm gonna broccoli you.
Oh, I thought. That's what I thought you were gonna do.
Okay, I don't know if my next note fits directly in, but I wrote, maybe the Harvard of the South is accurate. I don't remember exactly what the context was. But,
Maybe someone said something smart.
or just like,
Or maybe the South is such trash by comparison that Duke might as well be Harvard.
yeah, maybe that. Maybe
I think it could be that. So there's a lot of interviews with journalists who reported on it at the time.
And a lot of them have the same gender.
A lot of them do have the same gender, I noticed.
Yeah, you know why? Because they gotta take down the bads.
They do got to take down the bads, and at face value, I don't like them. But
Nope.
I'm going to give Rare credit where it's due to legitimately all of the predominantly female journalists who agreed to speak on this documentary.
Yeah.
Because they all fucked up big,
Yeah.
and it would be a lot easier to not go on a documentary about it than to go
not
on a
own
documentary
up to the fact
about
that
it.
you
So, like,
didn't do your research, didn't take any of the actual facts into account, and you were just like, man,
Gotta get
bad,
'em.
woman, free.
gotta take down rich white boys.
Yeah.
So, like, honestly, respect to every journalist who agreed to be on this, because I don't know if I would. I honestly don't know.
I don't know.
Would.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So there was one lady who was like, she was copping to it, but was like sort of trying to walk it back too. She was like, look, whether or not there was rape, the boys were probably not being nice.
Yeah.
And that's what I reported. I'm like, yeah, that was the article, was the boys weren't being nice. Okay. I mean, you got to do what you can to save face. I get it, but still amusing. This whole document. I mean, this documentary, if you know the story, if you generally know the story already, is one of the best comedies you'll ever see.
Yeah.
This is. I was like, I wonder what this would be like if I didn't know the story at all. Certainly less funny. And then more journalist interviews, and at that point I sort of realized that, like, is 90% of print journalism just thinking of cool puns for the headline?
Yeah.
Because, like, the Blue Devils made them do it. I mean, come on. Come on, man. I guess it was I guess they like dug up all the emails between them, and there was something about skinning people, and I'm like, yeah, cool, I want to skin people too. I'm like, oh, it's just an American Psycho quote. Sorry, I take that back. So the police were the police were not great, and perhaps also a little biased.
A little bit.
They you know how when you when you show someone a police either an in-person police lineup, or you have them pick photos out of an array of photos. You normally have who you think is the guilty party, and then just a bunch of other people who have nothing to do with it, who may look a bit like them,
look similar enough that you're going to trick the person into picking the wrong person, or
so they had the victim pick out her attackers from a series of pages of photos, and every single photo was a Duke lacrosse player. So just pick any Duke lacrosse players and you win.
Pick one of these guys that did it, and that's who we're going for.
You can't lose, baby.
No.
So they got two. Then they got the captain. I'm like, not the captain. He's the best of us.
Well, that's why he's the captain.
I know. So that was upsetting. Then I put it in quotes, but it's more. I don't think it was actually said in the document. I think it was just the implication. Okay, enough beating around the bush. This bitch lying, because that's sort of where everyone's like, okay, this is kind of all of this seems like bullshit. And then another thing that was actually a quote. So there's sort of three guys that get the brunt of it, and then they shut down the lacrosse program.
Not right away, though.
Not right away.
Not right away.
But eventually, and they shut it down. The coach quits in disgrace.
Yeah.
And they shut it down, and then but then as it goes on, I think this is an actual quote. None of the evidence they've developed implicates any other members of the lacrosse team, or even these three.
One, yeah.
It implicates a total of 0 members of the lacrosse team. I think my last bunch of notes are from the very, very end. So if you have anything else,
I got a lot.
Then
I was just letting you powerhouse through what you got.
I appreciate it.
Okay, so I got. It must suck to be a female attorney in this situation.
Yeah.
Because one of the defense attorneys for the Duke guys was woman, and even though they ended up being innocent,
she probably caught some shit.
It's gotta suck to be a woman defending a bunch of guys who
the most
might have
hated rich white
raped.
boys.
Yeah, that's gotta suck. But I mean, I guess like work is work.
Work is work.
I was
a gig's a gig.
I was confused because the supposed rapee
Yep.
was a student. So she was a student stripper?
Yeah, but not at Duke.
But like, so that doesn't get her in any trouble. I guess they can't be mad at her because she supposedly got raped.
Yeah. I don't know. She was at the community college or like doing grade 12 for the 4th time.
Okay, that seems right.
Something like that.
At some point, multiple people, I think police and a talking head guy, referred to her
David Byrne.
referred to her as the alleged victim.
Yeah.
Which is very, very, very blamey.
Yeah.
Then I wrote, well, that escalated quickly, which was the skinning the strippers comment.
Yep.
Then, when they asked one of the guys about...
I believe they axed one of the guys.
When they asked one of the guys about all of the jokes that they were making in their chat about American Psycho, he just sort of like was like very like, and we're just making all these jokes from American Psycho. Like we thought it was really funny. Like,
I love American Psycho.
We're like, yep, I guess it's funny to laugh about that now.
Yeah.
And then with the mugshots, I wrote, "This is some real. Then what did he do with the gun, Brandon? Shit."
Yes.
Because Brendan Dassey.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. And then after you picked out one of these Duke lacrosse players,
and P.S. you can pick any.
Which 3 of them were the ones that raped you?
Yep. Yeah, I'm like, look, I'm neither a member of Law nor Order.
Although you would like to be.
I would love to be. But that seems like poor police work.
That is just insanely lazy police
I think you're not supposed to do that.
Probably not.
I think you're supposed to give some options of people who might not be the rapists.
I love, just small town corruption. It's so good.
It's great.
Yeah. I mean, it's
always fun.
It's the best kind of police work.
Yeah.
I don't want to actively try to find out who did it. I just want this to go away so that I don't have to do my job.
Yeah.
So, like, the faster I can just get somebody else in trouble, and then I can just go home.
Yeah.
It's pretty chill.
It's all about your closing rate.
Yeah.
You just gotta close them cases,
Just
baby.
close them. Just close them.
Doesn't matter who.
Doesn't matter.
You just close them.
Put them in jail.
Yeah.
I think I...
Bang bang cops and robbers. Bang bang robbers and cops. Bang bang rob that bank. Put him in jail. Put him in jail. Casey and his brother.
Jojo?
I would like to see Tim Heidecker's Casey and JoJo.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Casey.
I think I'm up to the part where they kind of reveal
like her on
that
the stand.
She's a mentally ill bitch.
Yeah. So
what a shocker.
I say I'm sorry. So we're just casually mentioning that she was in the loony bin for a while
and is maybe schizophrenic
and maybe is severely schizophrenic and has substance abuse issues. Feels like worth mentioning earlier, but hey, you got to do a fun documentary and you got to reveal some stuff at the end.
You can't end it 5 minutes in.
Exactly. Yeah, this could have been...
So this former crackhead, mentally ill hospital patient who got out...
accused these guys.
These guys of raping
and there
her.
was no evidence and they didn't do it.
Yeah.
And this has been a short.
Done.
Yeah. There was they found so much DNA in this woman.
Yeah.
Like, she had fucked 10 guys in the last 24 hours, none of whom were the Dude Lacrosse team.
None of them.
I don't. Yeah, and after the revelation of the amount of different DNA in her, I'm like, I don't know if she's just a dancer. This might not be on the up and up.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. I just wrote like, oh, I love where this is going. I believe somebody used a term along the lines of, she's a fucking slut.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, like they didn't say it exactly like that, but that was
heavy implication.
Heavily leaning into she was a slut.
The lab tech doing the DNA testing left more of his DNA in the rape kit than any Duke Lacrosse member.
Yes.
Which is a funny statistic. and those were all like big hits, and then literally like the hits just keep coming, like bam bam bam, not unlike, they weren't like crazy twist reveals, they were just like awesome things. So it wasn't exactly like Tickled or Catfish, but like, okay, like, oh yeah, P.S. she was crazy. P.S. there was the most DNA inside her than has ever been in a human being before. P.S. the DNA tester might as well have been accused of rape based on amount of DNA in the kit. The DA got disbarred and went to jail, albeit for a day, but he got disbarred and went to jail. Those are facts. The head cop left the force and then killed himself. The accuser is currently in jail for murdering her boyfriend.
I mean, I have all of those notes in long form written down.
Hit me.
In February 2010, she was arrested on charges of attempted murder of her live-in partner, Milton Walker. She was eventually convicted of contributing to the delinquency of a juvenile, injury to personal property, and resisting a public officer. Then in November 2013, she was found guilty of second-degree murder after she stabbed boyfriend Reginald Day, who died 10 days after. She argued that she acted in self-defense, fearing that Day would kill her. She was sentenced to 14 to 18 years in prison. In July 2014, so the main prosecutor guy, Phil Nifong? Nifong?
Yeah. It's a Chinese sounding name that isn't Chinese.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was the one who got disbarred.
Yeah.
In July 2014.
Because he was fucking around big time.
Oh, yeah. In July 2014, there was a call for all of the cases Nifong had prosecuted.
That's right.
To be reviewed on the basis of having
like,
been
if you were doing this in this case, you've perhaps done this bullshit before. P.S. he had, and that's why he got disbarred.
They were shown that he had ignored due process in some cases, including the murder trial against Daryl Howard, who had been convicted in 1995 of a 1991 murder of a woman and her daughter. In 2014, Daryl Howard, who at the time had been imprisoned for murder for 20 years, was granted a new trial because Nifong had withheld evidence in the trial that led to his conviction.
Which he also did in this one.
Yes.
It was withholding evidence.
2 years later, following a hearing where the state...
withholding the results of the DNA.
Yeah.
Which is, it's not them.
Not them. Yeah.
Which is kind of important evidence.
2 years later, following a hearing where the state was asked why the conviction should stand, the murder conviction was vacated and Howard was released from prison, noting that DNA evidence not presented to the jury would have likely exonerated him.
Yeah.
And I think, and then in July 2014, Sergeant Mark Gottlieb committed suicide, where he, because after he was relieved from the force, he went and became a paramedic, and then fucking killed himself.
Just like, it like, all the information just came like one after the other. I'm like, man, fucking W after W after W. Dudes fucking rock. This is the best documentary.
It is.
The three guys clearly got like huge settlements, like from the university.
From the university,
who ruined their both reputations and lacrosse
academic careers.
Lacrosse, athletic and academic careers.
Yeah.
And
none of those three appeared in the documentary. It was just the other guys who were on the team.
Some of their parents did, though.
One of their parents.
One of their parents?
One of their parents did.
And those guys got huge settlements, but also I think maybe minus one or two, but I think the entire team got settlements.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is sick.
Surprising that Duke's still a thing, but I guess they are worth $9 billion.
That's Johns Hopkins.
Or Johns Hopkins, yeah.
Duke's only $7 billion. They're pussies.
Cowards.
Actually, they might. Duke's might be a bigger university than. What's Duke's endowment? Now I'm fascinated.
I like that when you put in Duke, it gives you Duke lacrosse case as number one.
Nice.
Durham, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And there we go. Their endowment as of 2021 is $12.7 billion.
Hell yeah.
Their president is Vincent Price. Not that Vincent Price though.
Oh,
I know, not R.I.P. Vincent Price.
I was all excited.
I wrote the last couple notes that I have left. I wrote were there were so many ugly SJW women in this, and they the entire time they also made the one black person look like a complete villain.
This was made by a racist white guy.
Yeah. I liked that there was sort of a debate and discussion about the holding the news media to like the accountability for their actions.
Like, hey, maybe don't falsely report that people are rapists until you know they're rapists.
And I like the one major lady reporter that they talked to, who, like we said, good for her for showing her face and admitting this. But literally, her entire admittance was, I was sexually assaulted in college, so I had to prove that these guys did it, even though they didn't. Like, she openly admits that she's like, I had to prove that these guys were bad, even though they didn't do anything, but it was because I was sexually assaulted in college. Which, like, that's a great way to be a journalist. Like, how do you still have a job?
Yeah. I bet some of the journalists didn't have jobs after that,
or just like weren't given high profile stuff, and
just like push down the ladder.
Yeah.
But if you're in the mood for a dudes rock documentary, might I suggest 30 for 30 Fantastic Lies.
Is that it? Am I supposed to end it there?
You could, or I don't know. What else do you want to talk about? What's in the... You want to do the news? Let's do...
I mean, we got a lot of news, but I don't feel like doing it.
Let's do just a quick couple hours of the news and then call it a night.
Sure.
Hey, thanks for joining us, everybody.
I can't believe you're still here.
I can't believe you're still here either.
Not even a statement about how long this is, just that, like, you haven't given up on the podcast.
I respect that.
Like, I hate these guys so much, but I have to listen to their entire podcast.
I need all the material I can get on them for when I eventually blackmail them.
Yeah, you can try.
Good fucking luck.
You can try.
In theory, we have 3 more.
I'm gonna stop it now.
Stop
talking.
Request episodes.
Yeah, that's true.
So
in theory,
unless
somebody wants to pay for Repulsion and maybe some more our choices,
or One Piece,
all of One Piece,
whatever you like. But whatever you do, send it to paypal.me/NotScottHedson, and we'll see if we can turn this into a weird perpetual motion machine in defiance of God.